Okay, y'all. Let's get it going. Let's get this thing underway. All right, give me a couple seconds here. All right. Okay, y'all. All right. So let's get it in. We didn't have anything going on this weekend, but I just wanted to get up on here and talk about some news that's been going on behind the scene. Of course, in this tank fight, I want to run through here real quick because I mean everybody can learn from this type of knockout, how to avoid this type of knockout in the game. So let's see, got about 8 of y'all, 10 of y'all. Okay, here we go. Make sure y'all hit that like. Todd Johnson, what's going on? Always good to hear from you. Ernest Richardson, happy Sunday. Yeah, man. It's been a nice day out here. I've been out for most of the day. Then shoot, came in, chill, got hot, had to take me a nap, man. Temperature going up. Still nice out though now. So Memorial Day weekend should be on point. There ain't no rain out this way. BP said he going for Karolina. I don't know. I really don't know about this. I'm gonna have to think on this. I gotta get a good feel of where they're both standing right now. Which we'll talk about here in a minute. James Perez, what's up? He said, "What do you think about tank fight?" MJ, what's going on? Yeah, so let's talk about that first, man. First off, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Like I said, not much was going on this weekend, so I just want to run through a few different things. And Colostrum said I went to Sunday school. No, man, I'm not a morning person. Not a morning person. Got a few things, Tank, Romero, that was a good fight. Came home and said, "Should I watch this fight?" So I said, "Yeah, let me go ahead and check it out." Other than that, I mean, just been having some other news going on. We could talk about Lucy Pudilova being re-signed, Felice and Karolina. Is this really a good anticipated match? Is there a lot of people wanting to see Karolina Felice? And then you got another. This is a fight I know everybody wants to see, right? Daniel Wolf and Norma Dumont. You know y'all want that fight. Julian Ramirez and stuff. He said, "I'm glad they re-signed Lucy Pudilova." Yeah, she's been working hard. She's been working hard. MJ says Zara Farron posting on IG she's back. Yeah, well, I hope she is, man, because she got to step her game up. I ain't want to lie, man. She got to step her game up if she want to make some noise here in the UFC. Can't keep coming up short on these other girls. You got to go in there and show them that you're supposed to be there. Because a couple of fights I was like, okay, I think she could do this. Megan Anderson came up short in that one. Landed some good punches on Megan Anderson, but let her actually take her down in that fight, right? And then she lost to Felicia Spencer. So we'll see. Maybe her and well, not Norma now. Maybe her and Norma would have been a good fight, but we'll see. Was she like 6-4 in her total career? But yeah, like I said, I want to see her do good. But I mean, can't keep doing this. Can't keep coming up short like this. I mean, she's only lost 2 in a row, but still, they were quick finishes, quick. But yeah, man. Tank Davis this past Saturday was crazy, man. I was telling people, look, all Rolly got a chance to do is score a knockout. That's all he got in him is a puncher's chance. Other than that, he he didn't really have anything for Tank. Tank. Yeah, James. The Tank fight, I liked it. I won't say like impressed because I already knew Tank's skill level was better. I already said Tank's skill level was better than Rolly Romero, so it ain't no need to overhype it. I think it was just a good fight because Rolly talked so much trash. Rolly talked so much trash, and I was just glad to see him get put in this place. And leading up to this fight, Tank said it in the press conference. Like I said, when fighters talk this way about each other, it's cool. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. And I mean, Tank knows it because he got the evidence. Tank was like, Tank called him a dumb A fighter. He was like, this guy's awkward. He's just a dumb A fighter, right? So we like to hear other fighters call each other that. You know what I mean? Like when he says that, he's got the evidence. He's been working with this guy. He knows how Rolly is. So if you say this, if he wants to say this guy ain't no good, okay, yeah, because he gonna go in and back it up. So I was like, yeah, Tank's pretty much seeing what we all see, and Rolly, to me, I think Tank was just carrying him most of the fight. I thought Rolly was doing a good job with his jab. I thought he was doing okay. But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, Tank might just be warming up. He might just be letting this guy kind of get overconfident. And as Tank turned it up in like around 4 and 5, I was like, yeah, you know what? I think Tank is just letting this guy feel himself a little bit to the point he gonna run into something crazy, and that's what happened. I mean, if y'all ain't seen it, y'all gotta check this out. If y'all like knockouts so much, if y'all are bored with WMA sometimes, y'all need to watch stuff like this. I mean, Tank was just on his back foot, set up a nice check left hand, and Rolly did most of the work. Rolly stepped in to this shot. He stepped into it, which, like I said, whenever a guy steps into a shot, they're going to do maybe 75% of the job for you. They do about 75% of the job. You don't even have to throw that hard because they come in with the force. And he walked right into this shot. And boom, he was out. I thought the referee was stopping it too early, but when I saw the replay, I was like, oh no, he's done. I mean, this guy couldn't even stand up. Eyes was everywhere. Legs was locking up as he was standing. I mean, if you pay attention to how his feet were moving around, yeah, he was done. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rolly got a concussion because they rolled up out of there. I know his chin was hurt, but that ego was hurt. That boy had to leave the ring before they even announced the winner. I was like, man, this kid here. James Press said Rolly too delusional for nothing, saying he exposed him as if he did real damage. He didn't do no damage. He didn't do no damage. Like whatever Rolly was thinking was not what was really happening. Tank was just taking his time. Like I even thought Tank should have went in there and just beat him up, broke him down with more punches, but there was no need to. I mean, he was just simply letting Rolly, I think, get overconfident. And apparently his coaches got overconfident. And they thought he won every round. Like Rolly thinks he won every round because his team told him he won every round, but he didn't. He won maybe that second round where he landed one like good left hook or two. But other than that, Tank was winning every round and just taking his time, which they mistaken for Tank being too respectful, I guess. And like I said, I was kind of thinking that Tank maybe should turn it up, but he knew what he was doing. So yeah, man. Good knockout. Like I said, it wasn't really like this big fight I'm looking forward to or was looking forward to. Just needed to shut a guy like Rolly up, and that's what happened. He said Rolly didn't wanted to go on. He didn't even complain. Yeah, he was gone, man. I think he just talking rematch to keep up appearances. But yeah, definitely a highlight knockout for Tank Davis, especially when a guy talks this much trash. Let's see. James Preston, him and his coach and Tio and his dad are all delusional. He didn't win every round. One round at top. One round tops. It was tough round to score because not the active. Either way, Tank started landing before the KO. Yeah, I don't think it was too tough. Like all I could give Rolly was one round where he landed a few power shots, but jabs alone aren't going to win you around. Like at least Tank was landing some single left hands, some more power shots, and I think the person with the belt should get those rounds if they are doing a little bit more. But Rolly wasn't doing anything impressive to win the fight. I think all the while Tank was just getting into a groove and wanted to like I said, kind of give this boy false confidence. So yeah, that's what it is, man. Talking too much trash, not knowing your level. I mean, we see that in this game, right? When people talk too much trash, they get knocked out, get their ego hurt. And there was no need for this fight anyways. I mean, his team shouldn't have gave him this fight because Rolly is not a knockout artist, in my opinion. Like, yeah, he's scoring some knockouts, but he's not a knockout artist because he's only knocked out a few people on a low level. People, that's what I said. People today they get that mixed up with like those legends in the game that were true knockout artists. How are you a knockout artist with 12 knockouts? Especially they ain't really like big names. Everybody in the game of boxing starts out with 10 or 12 knockouts because the guys are D level, right? Those are the D and the E levels of boxing. So you should be knocking people out that early, but only 12 knockouts in 14 fights. No, I don't think so. Like if you look at his resume, y'all don't even know these. Even hardcore levels don't even know these guys. So he learned a hard lesson. You're gonna have to take a couple of steps back. He was fighting an A-level fighter. Now he down to a got to go back to fighting D's. Joy B said, "Who you got? Kareem Silver, Poliana Mateo." I'm not sure yet. Really ain't sure. I think Haney. That's gonna be a good fight. I'm gonna go for Haney in that fight. George Kambosos being a diva, man. He just won one fight against Tiafimo, and he trying to ask for all these demands. Now you got to have both fights, the rematch in Australia as well. Boy, he's taking forever to make this fight. Like there was another fight out there for him. So it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Too many guys in boxing like that now. Trying to act like they some type of superstar. I mean, I know they want the money, but they ain't no superstar yet. And that's what takes people away from boxing, I think. Makes them go to MMA more. Makes them go over to MMA. But anyways, yeah, let's jump to some MMA talk. Let's go. Let's jump on some WMMA. I haven't really talked about this fight over here because it wasn't really, like I said, it wasn't really something I was asking for. Karolina Kowalkiewicz and Felice Herrig. Of course, I'm gonna watch this next weekend, June 4th, on that Volkov Rosenstruik card. So this fight here is a battle of unranks, a battle of used to be, you know what I mean? It's a battle of used to be top 15. Let me make sure now. Yeah, Felice is going now. She was holding on to that number 15 for a minute. Karolina, she's been gone now. Seems like for a minute. All right, let's pull these records up. So Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 12-7. And what is Felice Herrig? Let's see, 12-7. Felice is 14-9. Going back to Karolina. Oh wow. Karolina hasn't experienced a win since the first time she fought Felice Herrig, which was 4 years ago. Wow. She won a close decision over Felice Herrig 4 years ago. That was the last person she got a win against. So since then, Felice Herrig's going on it. Excuse me. Karolina's going on a 5-fight losing streak. Man. And these weren't just like close decisions. Now, when Tisha Torres went on a 4-fight losing streak, I wasn't in fear of her career as far as her getting hurt. Maybe like in fear, like they might cut a fighter if they go on a 4-fight losing streak, but not even then, because Tisha Torres earned a lot of respect for her 4-fight losing streak. There's a difference here. Like Karolina in her 5-fight losing streak had me on danger watch for her because she suffered some bad losses. She suffered some bad losses against these levels of fighters. Like for Tisha, it was consistent champions that she was in there with and tough contenders. But she held her own. And Karolina was in here, losing to like second tier and the first tier. But she was losing bad. I'm gonna go down this list here in a minute, but I can't even believe, she's still considered getting back in there because the last 4 years has been rough for Karolina. I know she's been working with ATT. Her and Joanna have been linking up. They've been rolling deep for a minute now. But my thing is, can you change? Can you change a lot? Can you change the things that need to be changed to go in there and work with this evolving strawweight division? Because if you look at this division right now, and Karolina's style, I don't see her matching up well with a lot. Like even if you jump into a number 11, Amanda Lemos is hell for Karolina. Robot Chickens, what's going on? It's going to be crazy for her. That's going to be another hard loss. And then she already lost to a fighter from Waterson. And then, Andrade is right there in the mix again. Who else did she lose to? Well, yeah, let me pull that up. Let's pull this up here. Hold on. James said Karolina was good back in the day when she beat Rose. Yeah, I used to consider it seems like a meaningless fight. None of them is fighting for a belt prop. Yeah, I used to think she was part of the top level. Yeah, she was definitely part of that elite level with her, Claudia, and Andrade. But then they weeded her out, boy. Karolina had a crazy downfall. She was undefeated until she lost to JJ, and she looked legit since then downhill. Yeah. Brian Williams, what's going on? Robot Chicken said Karolina doesn't have the fire anymore. She looked defeated against Panay and was crying. Yeah. Like, I don't know if Joanna can wake something up in her to because Joanna never really lost it. Joanna's never really lost it. I don't think so. I don't think she's ever really lost it. Joanna is just her. It might not improve to some people, but I think she does always fight with a high level of energy and a high level of hunger. Sometimes she just can't beat fighters because she doesn't change enough. But I think her hunger's always going to keep her in there. That's the difference between Joanna and Karolina. Joanna might not do a lot of different things in the octagon, but Joanna's still tougher than most. Like she's still tougher, and she wants to win. She's gonna push her style to the extreme. Whereas Karolina, I don't think her style is extreme and she's not built as tough as Joanna. And there's there's usually a part in the fight where she kind of gets broken. I think that's just how Joanna is. Like we can say, oh, she's only a high level striker. Well, her high level of striking can't be broken unless you can time her or you can out grapple her or just outwork her yourself. But other than that, no, Joanna just can't be broken. So hopefully that's going to be a good. Hopefully that's working for her. I don't know. Hopefully that's working for her in that camp, but we'll see. I mean, y'all saw her, and I posted this video, Joanna. Y'all can see Karolina in the back watching. She was back there taking notes, and while Joanna was on the mat, and Karolina was in the back just chilling, taking notes. Stray, what's going on? He said maybe a retirement fight. It could be. It could be to wrap up contracts. But yeah, let's look. Let's look at this. Karolina 12-7, and 5 of those losses came back to back. And like I said, they are not hard. They are not fights we could just rub off. They were some hard losses. Y'all remember this one, 2018, right? September 2018. Karolina versus Jessica Andrade. 1 round. 1 freaking round. Lafayette, what's going on? 1 round, man. Karolina got dusted. And I was scared for her, man, that fight. Like, Karolina, to me, was doing okay. Like, she was able to land on Andrade. But it was just a matter of time. You know what I mean? Like, there was no established jab. There was no counter punching. It was just straight brawling. And Andrade, like, rocked her in the opening round. I mean, she had her legs moving like a rocking horse. She was really, like, locked up and put her on the back foot. But somehow, Karolina came back, regrouped for about a minute, and landed shots on Andrade. She stayed in there, but it was just a matter of time. And boom, man, probably one of the nastiest knockouts in WMMA or in the UFC strawweight division. I mean, that was nothing touches that knockout. I don't think. I mean, Rose knocking Joanna out, that still wasn't the same type. She dropped Joanna, but it wasn't like this type of knockout. This was, I mean, on her back, stiff and out, where you were scared for a fighter. This was, oh man, it was just, whew, definitely one of the worst. James Perez said one of the craziest one punches. Yeah, definitely. He said Karolina got killed by Andrade. Yeah. Brian Williams said we'll have to see with Karolina with Joanna. I think she realizes how the competition has changed. I believe she made some changes to improve her odds. I think we'll see her grappling offensively. I hope so. I hope she does something that's going to work for her where she takes less hits, because I'm worried about her brain. People think that sounds crazy. I'm kind of worried about Karolina's brain right now. That's what I think of with certain fighters, their heads, because when they take that much punishment and you had a broken eye socket and a few concussions, I can't help but worry about your brain. Because like me, if I was working her corner in some of those fights, I probably wouldn't train her for this one. I wouldn't want to be responsible for what happened. Well, Felice ain't really a big finisher. Felice ain't that type of fighter. But if she was in there with like a Lamos or something, I was like, nah, I couldn't do it. I tell you, like I can't get you ready for this one. This is too much. But I mean, she passed. I guess they cleared her to fight. So I mean, it's good to go, I guess. James, literally, no one thinks Joanna's takedown defense is underrated. She's the best in the business and all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, her takedown defense is the best. Like when I was doing BJ's trivia, she was the one I named first. I mean, Ketlin Berry has the highest takedown percentage according to stats, but Joanna's the name that came to mind. James Perez said, if Dern gets better at striking, becomes really legit in the feet, she can be a real problem. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so going down this list, okay, very, very bad knockout. Make sure y'all hit that like button too. Got about 15 of y'all in here. Only 8, 9. Yeah, let's get at least to 12. Because I think notifications be going out more, been told. So get it to 12 at least for the 15 of y'all in here. Okay, so Karolina at Jessica Andrade loss dropped the unanimous decision to Michelle Waterson. That was a clear winner, clear beating there. And this June 8th, 2019 fight, Alexa Grasso, that was a beating. I remember watching that fight in the bar, and I was like, wow, Grasso can't miss. You know what I mean? Grasso could not miss on her in this fight. So you got that. Then this next fight, it was the worst. It was even worse. Jan Janan. It made Jan Janan look, honestly, it made her look better than you know what I mean? Like, definitely made her look better than she was because Karolina was not there to be, was there to be hit. Um, that was a fight where she suffered a broken eye socket. And then she came back over a year later, got submitted by Jessica Panay. Just didn't look in it. Dangerous, man. Like every single one of them losses, man, had me questioning her every time. So I don't know. Before that, she beat Felice Herrig and Jody Escobel, lower level fighters. Then before that, she lost to Claudia and Joanna back to back. And yeah, that kind of showed you where back then that was a sign 5 or 6 years ago that she needed to start becoming a little bit more defensive minded. Karolina's never really been defensive minded. She's been brawling a lot and so hung up on offense that it's kind of costing. Definitely costing. So she was beating the fighters that we expected her to beat, but every time she stepped that level up against Joanna Andrade and Claudia, she would get beat, and then she kind of lost the step. Waterson, Grasso, Janjana. So we'll see what kind of improvement she's making. Maybe, like I said, she's working on defense more, using her head movement more. I hope. What about Felice, though? Felice is 37. She's been in the game for a minute. How old did I say Karolina is? 36. Yeah, nah. Sometimes we say 36 just the age, but fights put years on you, especially depending on how much punishment you take. So how old is she for real? Like, how old is her brain for real with this type of punishment that she's taking? Felice Herrig, she's kind of had a nice little break off. 37, she's 14-9. She's on a 3-fight losing streak. She hadn't got a win in over 4 years. Yeah, like 4.5 years. And Felice has always kind of been teetering between B minus and C level at strawweight. Maybe C at best, right? She was never really like on Tisha level. Maybe a little higher than Angela Hill, but somewhere in that little tier, because she could handle a certain level of fighters, but she couldn't even beat Paige. I remember she beat, what was her name, Kaylin Karan before. Yeah, she did beat Alexa Grasso, right? She did beat Alexa Grasso before. Who else? Justin Keish, Courtney Casey. Yeah, so she doesn't really have any like top level wins on the resume. Like at least Karolina has beat Rose and Randa, I think. Yeah. But lost to Karolina, a close fight. Lost to Michelle Waterson. Came back 2 years later, got submitted in 1 round by Verna Gendarova. That was her first submission loss, too. That was her first submission loss. First time she'd been stopped. She'd never been stopped before. James Perez said Felice never been top 7. No, she's always been like I said, in the C realm or somewhere around there. Like, if you get caught sleeping, you will lose to her, like Grasso did. I think a lot of people thought Grasso was gonna win that fight, but Felice wanted. BP said Karolina all day to beat Felice coming back from a knee injury too. Yeah, she's had like 2 or 3 surgeries. I heard one wasn't good. Like I can't remember. She said a doctor goofed up on one of them, on one of the surgeries. I think. Yeah. So I don't know how bad that knee is. So let's talk about that. So looking at these long layoffs they both had, and looking at the losses and what's been taken, I think Carolina's probably suffered the most damage in the cage because, like I said, Felice never been stopped before until Werner submitted her. I think Felice, her injuries more off of like training, wear and tear, with this surgery she's had. So I think the more durable fighter could possibly be Felice here, but who knows with that knee? I don't think she suffered as much. Can we say neurological damage like Karolina has? Yeah, yeah. She hasn't suffered as much. Upstairs is like Karolina, so Felice has that going for her. What type of changes do you think Felice is going to make in her game? Well, after a while off, I don't see her going in there trying to keep it standing too long. So I think this might be a fight where it could be like a striker versus a striker. They just cancel each other out and try to grapple here to be more on the safe side, which is wise for them because I don't know if either one of them has the legs to keep pushing and really wants to push their chins to that extent, you know? And to me, it's not really a fight. I don't even really want to do a pick on this. I'm just curious as to see where they go from here. It's not really one that I want to say, this is something I got to pick because I think whoever wins and doesn't look like a totally new fighter, they're in danger either way. Maybe not because they're getting paid, but I mean for health reasons. See, that's the thing fighters tell you. They tell, when a fighter wins, it is good. But I mean, it depends. It depends on how they look because Karolina could go in here and win a split decision. But after that, she probably going to be feeling a little bit more confident, thinking she can step her game up. Then she going to be here with one of these more dangerous fighters with more of and a more evolved style and wind up getting hurt. Right. So I think somebody in here got to do a complete makeover. With the style of Karolina, you can't carry the style we know her from. We can't see her carry that into this type of fight now. She really shouldn't be that. James Perez said, when is this fight? It's June 4th on the preliminaries. It should be, yeah, I think the prelims is on it for this time. MJ said Karolina's done, even in Jessica when they beat her. Yeah, it's just like every level's been beating her now. Zama said the first fight was quite decisive. I thought it was. Mark said with Karolina and Felice, I'm gonna blindfold and pick some. Yeah, I'm kind of there with you on that. I'm not really invested in to say, I know this person gonna win. They're both suffered a lot of damage. Both had long layoff. Both unranked now. It's up in question. 36 and 37. Robot Chicken said Carolina reminds me of Tony Ferguson's decline. Yeah, a lot of wear and tear. Robot Chicken said Carolina's done. I can't pick her. I knew the fate or against Panay. Yeah. Yeah, I think I did too, right? I think I did say Panay's got this because it's gonna get easier and easier. And if Felice is still the fighter she was, I think she could pull this thing out. Get her vengeance. Get her vengeance from 4 years ago on her. But yeah, man, the game, the game is changing. The game is changing for fighters like these. These girls were part of a division that was still building itself. Everybody kind of had their own particular style and they were good with it. Back in 2014, 2015, Joanna, was running it with her style. Claudia was there. Karolina, Felice, Tisha, JoJo, Carla, Marina Moreau, Rose. That was the division back like 8 years ago, 6 years ago, and it was kind of a style, kind of a division where everybody had their particular style. But as of lately, this thing's evolving. Some of these ladies are still around because they changed some things up. They were still tough to hang, but some just won't be able to make it back. Right? I think some of these girls they can rebound like that now because who we got Pinheiro. Like I said, Pinheiro's still a little green, but Pinheiro's kind of different. Like Pinheiro's coming in with heavy hands and good judo. Jessica Panay, I can't believe she's still at 14. Angela Hill, she's hanging on by a thread. Verna, I think Verna can get better. Girls like Lamos, Jandaroba, um, Marina Rodriguez, Dern, Joanna, they're still kind of they are like the future of the division. We can throw Andrade in there because she's always gonna be her. Like she could be the most one dimensional of all of them, but still like take everybody's head off, right? MJ said these girls are older than me. Yeah, these girls been around for a minute. So I've been these girls have been around since Invicta started. I've been seeing these girls forever. Tells you how old I am because yeah, these girls that they was in the game when Invicta was like on Invicta. Like Tisha, what was Tisha on like Invicta FC 4 or 5 back then? Yeah, like that's why I'm surprised at the ones that are still there. Like Tisha, Waterson. Let me see. They were two of the originals. Tisha, Waterson, and Joanna, Carla, Rose, Hill, and Panay. So about 7 out of the 15 have been in this division for the past 8 years now. Yeah, they've been out for about 8 years now. Let's see. Yeah, James Perez said June 4th card doesn't look that good. Who you got vote call for Biggie? Let me see. I'm gonna go with. Yeah, it's not really like a major card. I'm going with Rosenstruck in that one. I see somebody getting clipped out. It could go either way, but I'm gonna go with Rosenstruck in this one. I think the biggest fight I'm looking forward to on the card is JJ and Aaron. All right. So yeah, I wanted to just talk about this fight for a minute because Karolina and Felice as a whole, you know what I mean? Like just damage in the game, fighters staying around too long and the division leaving them behind. I'm really not like invested in this fight like that. I'm just more concerned about health, more so for health reasons for me. That's just me. So maybe somebody will get a sign after this fight that it might be time to go. Zamas, I swear, decline started with KK going vegan. She immediately started looking smaller, less muscular. But since she went to ATT, she looks better. I'm betting on it. You know what? I was looking at two pictures, man. Like one of Karolina's earlier photos, and she was ripped, and then one of her later photos, like she didn't have the same physique. Her abs were gone. So yeah, I noticed that change in her because the picture I was actually going to put up. Let me see. Yeah, this one here I have up. Hold on. Yeah. If you look at her abs here, it's not as defined. But there's another picture of Karolina, and she's got she's kind of got the valley in between with her abs. You could tell she was like really ripped in. Let me see that picture there. That picture there is not really. It's not bad, no. But there's another one. Hold on. There's this picture here. I have up, and then there's another where she's kind of smoothed out. But then there's another one from before. Yeah, she was like really ripped. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's coming up this Saturday. Hopefully nobody gets hurt in that fight. But who else do we have? Yeah, Aaron and JJ. I'll talk about that tomorrow because I want to run through something else. Yeah, man, Lucy Pudilova. Pudilova. What do y'all think, man? She back in business. She back in the game. How long has it been? Let me see. Lucy Pudilova. Always was an exciting fighter. Let's see. She's 13-7 now. Still young, 27 years old. Used to fight in the bantamweight division for some of y'all that didn't know. She went on a 4-fight losing streak before they got rid of her, because she was up in there at times a little bit greener than some of the fighters she was facing, I'd say. She held her own against some fighters though, like what's her name? Irene Aldana. She had a close fight with Irene Aldana. Beat those low level fighters like Jin Yoon Kim and Sarah Morris, but when she went on a 4-fight losing streak, it was just time to go, I think, because she still had some things to learn. She was only, when she got cut, she was like 23 or 24, so that was probably best. She was in there like Liana Jojua was, I think, a little too premature. She lost her first fight in the UFC, Lena Landsberg, right? She lost her first fight, won 2 fights, Jin Yoon Kim and Sarah Morris. Then she lost to Aldana, Carmouche, Antonina, and then Justine Keesh. And then they said it's time to go. It's time to go. And to me, losing to Antonina, she got submitted too. That wasn't a good look. It definitely wasn't a good look, Let's see. That was at 125. So she's fought between 135 and 125. Right? She's been at both of those weight classes. So with the re-signing now, I'm kind of wondering where they're going to put her. Because right now 125, they got a good roster. 135 is in need of some blood now. They need some fighters. And I think they might be feeling kind of in that position where they need to get some women back in here. So with Lucy Pudilova coming back from Octagon, her record in Octagon is 5-1. Let's see, she lost to Talita Bernardo, also a former UFC fighter who got knocked out by Viviane Araújo. I know y'all remember that fight. After those 5 fights, she back. She been gone for about a year and a half. Question is, do you think she ready? Because I'm looking at the resume, I say, okay. Came back strong, went to Octagon, won 5 fights. I ain't finished anybody. All decisions. But she lost to Talita Bernardo, who was in the UFC. So Talita, she did reach a high enough level to get signed, but she's gone too. But kind of makes me wonder, like, where could she fit? Where could she fit right now? That's the question. Because if it's 125, it's going to be a tough road because let's say you put her in there. Let's say you put her in there in the even in the unranked realm. Okay. Let's say we put her in the unranked realm with the flyweights. There's a lot of tough fighters there. Aaron Blanchfield's unranked. Of course, her and Aldridge are fighting, but they're in that realm. You got Melissa Gatto. Who else is in there? Mine's blanking right now. I usually can name most of these. You got Sarge in there. Sarge Eubank is in there. This new fighter, Jazzy Vicious, is in there. Ariane Lipsky, Manny Boehm, fighters like that. And they're still holding on to their, like Ariane Lipsky, fighters like that. They're still holding on to their contract, even with the performance they can put on Priscilla Cachoeira. They still can perform to enough of a level where they can hang. But still a question about Pudilova coming back. Yeah, she's exciting, but has she improved enough to get that work in? I don't know. I can't say. I mean, honestly, what I said before when I talked about her, maybe like last year, I said, you know what? Shout out to Pudilova because she was in a place where I thought she was doing better off than being in the UFC. Octagon seems to appreciate their women over there, and her views on Instagram, or not her views on YouTube, like Octagon fights, tend to be higher than they are in the UFC. I was like, okay, maybe she also getting paid more. Maybe she needs to stay over here because I think she has enough skill to beat a lot of these girls, put on exciting fights, and get the money. If you go to Octagon MMA right now, look at some of Pudilova's fights. Her views, 67,000 views, 44,000 views, 27,000 views. Oh, that ain't that high for some of y'all, but to me it is for somebody of her level that was former UFC. Let's see. Look at this one fight. Pudilova versus Suotamo. 142,000 views. That's more than Carlos Barza fights. So to me, I thought she was in a good place. So my question is UFC really a good place for her to be right now? Look at this. Lucy Pudilova fought Teresa Bleda. This was an amateur fight, but still 172,000 views. And let's see. Let me just test it out. Let's see how many Carlos Barza, some of her fights. Carlos Barza versus. Well, they don't have their fights up here, but let's look at some clips. Somebody put the highlights for Sparza Calvillo 9,000 over the course of 4 years. Look at this. Joanna versus Carlos Sparza. Joanna versus Carlos Sparza. The full fight is up here. 3 years it's been up here. It's now 43,000. 43,000 after 3 years. Let's see what else. Yeah, I just want to pull that name up because she's a strawweight champion. But let me see. Macy Barber versus Miranda Maverick highlights. Like, not a lot of 28,000 after 10 months. Okay, I mean, that still ain't like what Pudilova was doing for Octagon. Macy versus Alexa Grasso. Like I said, you won't really see a lot of UFC fights up here, but sometimes people click real fast, and that's what it's about, the clicks. So I think Pudilova was in a fine place, but maybe she's just trying to step her game up. Maybe it's not about money. Maybe it ain't about money, but I hope she's prepared because, like I said, the 125 division is going to be a problem. She's in that realm. Hold on. YouTube user said, according to IG, Karolina temporarily moved to the U.S. so she could train full time ATT. Honestly, she's been looking sharp. Yeah, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, yeah, I know she moved here, but yeah, she been looking okay in training. I seen some. I've been seeing some clips, and she's been working with Joanna. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. NYC loner, what's going on? Marcus, I'm going to throw another name who Pudilova lost to, and that is. Oh, you missed. Yeah, I was just talking about. Maybe my stream is delayed because I was just talking about Toledo Bernardo. Yeah, because like I was saying about yeah, well you heard it. Yeah, 125. I'm not even sure she'll crack the top 15 with some of them names like I was talking about, like Gatto, Sarge, Blanchfield, Aldridge, Jillian Robertson's there. Jillian Robertson, tough would be tough on the ground for. I think I like her chances against Montana though. If if Lucy Pudilova gets signed and that's her first fight at 125, I wouldn't be surprised. Don't be surprised if that's her first fight. If it is flyweight, Lucy Pudilova versus Montana, something like that. And I could see her winning a fight like that. But the question is, what if it's 135? Mm. I know they need some new folks in there, but you still got some strong veterans there that are holding on. As bad as y'all want them out, right? All right, hold on. Let me turn this up. Hold on, I gotta fix something. I'll fix this screen. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Got about 20 of y'all in here. Let's see, from 12, let's get up to 17, 18 likes now. James Press said, even though there isn't a big draw in WMA and the UFC, I feel like JJ could still be the biggest draw. Pena could be a bigger draw too if she remains champ, but unfortunately, someone is moving up soon. I think Joanna's kind of peaked where she'll be. Honestly, this being her second go round, I'm not sure if she can stay around that much longer. Robot Chicken said, honestly, Lucy should stay where she is. Not sure she's built for the UFC. Yeah, that's something I'm kind of wondering myself. Like, maybe she's doing it to test her skills, but I looked at some of her past fights there in Octagon. I like them because they're on that level. But when I think about the UFC level, it's a different story. She getting paid, like I said, more views over there. Got a nice little win. Win ratio's higher over there. Only 5-1. But it's on the fighter. They want to test their skills sometimes. I guess it ain't about money. But 135 for Pudilova might be trouble because even fighters like Avila's out right now. Carosa, she already fought Lena Landsberg, lost. Macy Chason might be trouble for it. If they get to throwing, they get to brawling. Macy got power now. Panny Kansan, same with her, got power. Who's some unranked bantamweight she could fight? Wu Yanan. I could see her beat maybe like a Wu Yanan. But even like Myra Buena Silva would be trouble for her, right? Yeah, because Myra Buena Silva is not one I think really in trouble. It doesn't have skills to hang. She still has, I think, a position to play. She's pretty good at holding it down. Some of the fighters that are on like a win-loss pattern, they still have something about them. But the ones that kind of go in that losing streak, you're like, are they really built for this? So that's where I'm at question with Pudilova. Lost to Keish, Antonina, Liz Carmouche, and Irene Aldana. Those 4 fighters went over to Octagon. And then like an exhibition fought, she lost to Teresa Bleda. And y'all know Teresa Blader, she's starting to come up looking like a monster. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who her first fight is, and we'll see what weight class it is. Where can she crack top 10 at? 125 or 135? So with that, another fighter I'm wondering about, man, where could she go? Josiane Nunes. What if it was Josiane Nunes she had to fight? Wow, that would be crazy. That would be a horrible welcome back for Pudilova to have to fight Josiane Nunes. Because Josiane Nunes right now, I don't think she's playing. Like I said, with her, I'm not overhyping her. I just know that her particular style and build right now for unranked fighters, it's going to be a problem. You know, Josiane Nunes is really hitting with bad intentions out here. So Josiane Nunes asked a question about her too, like where is she going to fit in, 135 or 125? Josiane Nunes, I think to me, she held her own against a big fighter like Pascal. Josiane Nunes needs to be 135, I think. I don't know. Wait a minute. Do I want to take that back? I think the thing about it is I just think 125 is just it's so cluttered right now with a lot of talent. And I want to be fair. I want to share some weight here. But does her style fit 135? That's the question. Like I'm just sitting here thinking, like, would it be wise to should we put Josiane Nunes at 135 just because they need people? Is she big enough though? Is she big enough and strong enough to hang at 135? Or is her physique perfect for 125? I don't know. I'm gonna say flyweight. Forget that flyweight because eventually fighters like Jessica I and Andrea Lee and JoJo, they're gonna be gone, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say 125. Her power might be scarier there. And you need somebody that ain't scary. Like, I mean, somebody's gonna go in there and start fighting. We need some more of that action, man. And with Andrade going back to 115, we need somebody that's gonna be like a rip-off version of her for now. Either a discount Andrade until she make her own name. James Perez said JJ is peak, but who's really a bigger draw than JJ right now? Maybe Nunes. I think Weili is. Yeah, Weili's a pretty big draw. Weili. Weili. Who else besides Weili? Like at 115. Guess just like Weili and Rose, right? Because Andrade's not like a huge draw. Mark said that would be a sacrifice if Pudilova fights Nunes. Man, that would be insane. Mojo said Teresa Blade is scheduled for a contender series. Yep. And yep, that's going to be an interesting one. Colossal said Josiane deserves a title shot next. Not yet. I want to see her get in some top 5 fights. Maybe make Misha Tate versus Josiane Nunes at some point. James Perez said if she's fighting at 145, of course she can fight at 135. Jocelyn Nunes at 125, she can make that. She's not that big. She's not really that big. I mean, she's only 5'2". She's tiny. Like I thought 145 was pushing it for her, honestly. I mean, and you got to remember though, like the quality of opponent she was fighting too. Like Pascal was big, but she could still be hit, and it just worked out for that way. But not every fight at 145 would look that easy for Josiane, you know. And that's why I'm thinking about 135 though. Like, do you think she can really handle if she can't land on Rocky? Do you think she can hang with Rocky in the clinch like that? I don't know. See, at least I think at 125 she can fare better because you got to remember she's only 5'2". Straight said Jocelyn is 135 to me. She's like Andrade at 125, shorter but can KO all of them if she lands. Yeah, if she lands, And outside of that, you got to have something. You got to have something else to fall back on. Like if you can't KO, what else can you do? Right? Are you going to have the strength to handle a bantamweight? So, I'm looking at her physique because Andrade, yes, she fought at bantamweight herself, but she didn't fight at this high level like she did in 115 and 125. So there's a lot to think about though. I mean, you even look at her shoulders here, like for 135. Can she get to the top with that? She beat a low level featherweight, but should we get carried away and say, okay, she can beat top level bantamweights? Like, could she beat Pena like that? Could she knock out? Yeah, she could probably knock out Ketlin Veria, but who's gonna get knocked out first? Well, Ketlin Veria ain't gonna knock nobody out. She's always on the I don't know. She kind of carries fighters too much. Yeah, Ketlin Veria, yeah, carries sometimes, but who knows, man? Like, if she gets laid on, she'll be in trouble. As I said, Josiane cuts even for 145. I don't know about 125. Even if she makes, I don't know about her having that power at flyweight. Like cutting. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of women cut for that weight. And I know a lot of women that are like 5'2" and 5'1". They'll still kind of get past 145 and so on. So yeah, but the thing is, like, how much is she cutting? MJ said, who you guys talking about? Josiane Nunes. Well, either one is good for me. I mean, look, y'all feel that confident and think she can beat. Let me see. She does pull the trigger more than Macy Chason. Her and Panny would be a brawl, but dang, man, she got power. Sarah McMahon is strong, man. Aspen Ladd. I think Rocky would be trouble though. I think Rocky would be a trouble fighter for. Irene Aldana, her boxing might be trouble. Holly might get hurt in that fight. Yeah, 135 is a need, man. So I might just have to say, yeah. Let's see, DJC, what's going on? He said, does Karolina beat Felice again? It's possible. We'll see what this training with Joanna does for her, but yeah, we'll see. Josiane Nunes versus Jessica Andrade. What weight? What weight? Because maybe 125, since Andrade looks better at 125. I'll say 125 Andrade, but at 135 could be Nunes. Okay, 135, probably Nunes. Marcus said, Aspen Ladd is the number one boxer in the UFC. She ain't even the number 10. Where am I? Oh, yeah, let me cut that out. I'm going to cut that part out of the other stream I did the other day, and I'm going to put that video. How many of y'all caught that? Or not not my video, but how many of y'all caught that boxing list, man? What were they thinking? I ain't even going to talk about it tonight. I'm going to just put that video up later and let y'all hear it. Carla Esparza and Aspen Ladd. James Perez says she had good power at 145. Honestly, wouldn't mind seeing Nunes versus Nunes at 145 for the belt since the division is kind of dead. Oh, let's go ahead and make. No. Yeah. I know Carlos. I did a video on it. I did the whole video, and I told you who shouldn't be on there, and who shouldn't. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Jocelyn Nunez at 135 might be a beast. Let's give her a couple more names, and we'll see what happens. Straight said it doesn't need further discussion. No, I'm gonna put that video up. It do need discussion because too many people, like I said, I ain't taking shots, but I'm just saying I want to I want to school somebody that needs to be educated on that. Because if lists like that continue to get shined, and people are gonna continue to shy towards that. Like if somebody continues to preach to people and tell them Carla's a good boxer, she is. Well, somebody's got to stop it. Or you had Amanda Serrano on that list. It said top UFC boxers. You keep making lists like that, and nobody says anything. Well, I mean, it's easy work, of course, because there's a lot of people you just debunk. Like I said, Amanda Serrano was the easiest. Amanda Serrano was the easiest to debunk on there, but I'm just want y'all to know. Look, there's a difference between MMA and then UFC. UFC is the organization, so UFC you can't say Amanda Serrano the top UFC boxer because she ain't even in the UFC. Yeah, she's a top boxer, but she's not on that level because she's not in UFC. No, James Perez, not Carla versus Aspen. They were on a list of boxers, the best boxers in the UFC. They were on a ranking. I think Aspen was 10 and Carla was number 9. I wouldn't even had Andrade on there. Right. Yeah, of course, Trey. No hardcore fan would take it seriously, which I'm a hardcore fan, which I'm not. So the thing is, it's just like y'all want to know, I'll educate you. So if somebody puts out a list and they say, "What is this?" Well, I'll do you one better and give you mine. How about that? You know what I mean? I was going to do that eventually anyway. I mean, I've done that before without the help of somebody putting out a bad list, is what I'm saying. So I'm just saying, like, somebody puts out a bad list, I'll say, well, if you don't like that one, let me do you better and let me put out something that you can actually like. You know, that's how we make things better. If one thing ain't what people want, it's a mistake. Then we do one better by making it something that you can take seriously. Jocelyn Nunez, man. Yeah, maybe give her a chance at 135. Give her a chance at 135. I just, looking at her physique and everything, like, I need to see her on an off day. You know, I mean, she was up in there killing 145. James Perez said, list of boxers for WMA and UFC. Uh, what's your top 5? I listed a bunch of fighters the other day. Off top, I give you 5. Okay, let me give you 5. Um, no particular order. Alexa Grasso, Irene Aldana, GDR, Valentina, Caitlin Chikagan. Of course, I named 10, but I'm just giving you 5. Top 5, I really don't feel like rating them. Yeah, I'll say that. Chikagan, GDR, Grasso, Valentina. Irene Aldana. And Joanna. Yeah, I would put Joanna on that list. Yeah. My top 10 Joanna's on there. I'm just naming 5. Joanna's on that list. Yeah, they had Jessica Andrade on there. I was like, what? Come on, Jessica Andrade, she can knock you out, but she's more of a clubber. Like she be clubbing people. She be, rocking people. With just big shots, just throwing off balance. Who else? Yeah, I put Joanna on that list. I did. Yeah, I would definitely put her on there just because of her work rate and her jab is probably one of the best in the strawweight division. Um, yeah, I really wouldn't put like Marina Rodriguez. I consider her more just like a Muay Thai specialist. Who else is good? Lupe Ganitas. He's okay. Man. Zalman said Joanna has a way deeper boxing skill than I Aldana. Who said she didn't? Like, who says she didn't? I mean, people can be on a list. Like, you could probably think Chikagan. Chikagan might have a deep one too, but who's deeper than Aldana though? Like, if you talking about other people though, that's why there's a ranking. So they can both be on my list. So, I mean, one might be better than the other, but come on now. MJ, let's see. Um, you know what though? I wouldn't put Danielle Wolf on there for me, MJ, because it's got to be boxing skill that actually translate to MMA. Hers ain't been tested yet. No, I would put Aldana's top 10. Like, who else? Who else is a better boxer than her? Like, who else throws punches like that or got knockouts off of punches though? Like, who else would you put? Like, well, it's anybody's list. I'm gonna just say it that way. To me, she's top 10 because it's got her a top. She's in the top 5 off of her boxing, right? She's in the top 5 off of her boxing, and it's got her wins. So if you're talking about as a whole, if you grab them from every division, yeah, I would put Aldana in there. Knows how to use the reach. Could be better, of course, always. But I mean, who can't be in this division? Joanna could be better. Like Joanna gets hit a lot. So, um, yeah, I'd put Aldana in there. Beautiful left hook to the body, to the head. And that's why I'm saying, like, her boxing translates over to MMA and it gets her victory. So, yeah, she's definitely top 10, in my opinion. Hell, I even got Rocky Pennington in there. I put her in there. Okay, MJ says she's got Aldridge. Yeah, Aldridge is good. She's a good technical fighter. Aldana, yeah. Grasso, yeah. Joanna, yeah. GDR, yeah. But yeah, like I said, with Danielle Wolf, I don't know if I would put Danielle Wolf there because Danielle Wolf is just a boxer. She hadn't translated to MMA. Straya said Velismus and Ricci is in the works. Who you got? Velismus, maybe. Velissa, maybe. Velismus, maybe. High five. What's going on? Let's see. Um, but yeah, speaking of Daniel Wolf, I I feel bad for I actually kind of feel bad for Norma Dumont right now. At least she's got a fight coming up, but this ain't the best fight for her to me. No, it's not. September 10th, we got Norma Dumont and Danielle Wolf fighting, right? And it's a featherweight matchup. It's a featherweight fight after almost 2 years. Danielle Wolf is finally set to fight. The Contender Series fight, does that count as a fight on their record? Because I remember somebody saying she was 0-0, but they've been putting it up as 1-0 now. So let me see. Yeah, they got it up there as 1-0. Let me see. 2020 on that Contender Series 2 years ago. Yeah, man. So is she 38? I could have swore she was already 40 because I thought she was 38 2 years ago. Okay, no, she's 38. Okay. So, all right. Let's look. Let's just talk about this for a little bit. Yeah, Norma Dumont, Danielle Wolf, September 10th. Big to me, it's like a big level difference. You know, this fighter, Danielle Wolf, is really, truly making her MMA debut, UFC debut against Norma Dumont, who has 9 fights in her professional career, and Danielle Wolf is like technically 1-0, but had a rough showing against Tanisha Tennant, and fight a lot of people thought she lost. After that, she's been gone for 2 years. One, I think off injury, and I think she was supposed to come back against Felice Spencer. Was it last year? Over the summer? Yeah, her and Felice Spencer were supposed to fight, but that got canceled. Felice Spencer, she's gone now. She's retired. So, fighter that's making her debut, she's fighting somebody that's 9 fights deep in their professional career. To me, like I said, okay, it's a featherweight fight, but it's not really a nice. It's just something that don't feel legit about it because it's just in a division that doesn't have a ranking system, and it's just so far off. To me, that's still far off. Like Danielle Wolf is 38 and hasn't had. I don't think she had. No, she don't have no amateur experience in MMA. They don't have an amateur record up here for her. So I'm like, huh? Like we don't even have that. So her going in there against somebody like Norma Dumont, I actually feel kind of sorry for Norma Dumont because she's in a division where there's really nothing to shoot for. She said it herself. Let me see. Let me pull that article up. What did she say? Because she was just kind of talking about it. She was like, okay, will somebody let me know? Should I be at bantamweight where I could at least go for the belt, where I can at least try to stay close to my weight, or y'all going to keep insisting I stay at featherweight? Yeah, because she said this, and Norma Dumont doesn't know why the UFC is insisting on keeping featherweight division open. Yeah, she was like, I don't know why the UFC is insisting on keeping the division open. Every time I finish a fight, they ask me to go down to 135 because we're shutting down the division. So every time they tell her that, they are very close to shutting this division down, which I don't know how close is. I mean, they still keep putting on little fights here and there. It's more of a tease, like if somebody can't make weight. But other than that, they haven't even like made like an official date when this is the last one. So she said that, look, go down to bantamweight because we're shutting it down. I started going down, and they would send me to fight at 145 again. I don't know what the UFC plans are and what's going on, but the girls they are sending me is not about rankings or anything. It's just options they have. So yeah, they got her in there with another option. Like Danielle Wolf. Like for Danielle Wolf, like what is it for her as well? Like she signs in on to the UFC. Dana signs her after that showing, and he thinks there's something for her, really. And for Danielle Wolf, she's got to kind of think about that. Like, what is my direction here? Like, am I gonna be squeezing down to 135 too? But no, like look at Danielle Wolf. Like she's not a bantamweight. This girl can't squeeze down. Like she's not like heavy. Like I mean like fat. I mean this girl's thick. She has a lot of muscle on her. So to me, I think somebody Danielle Wolf probably would have been better off going to PFL where she could fight at 155 because she looks like one of those girls with size like Julia Budd or like Jenna Fabian. She's kind of built like that. So she kind of has to ask herself that too, like why have they not built this division? Should I be here, or are they gonna try to make me cut down to 135 at times? Because yeah, Danielle Wolf at 38, 5'11", big 5'11", doesn't need to be trying to cut weight at some point. Australia said Dana says he only keeps 145 open until Nunes retires. I don't even know why he's doing that because it ain't like there's anybody for her to defend the belt against. Sleight of mind, what's going on? So Danielle Wolf, to me, I think really her chances would have been better at PFL because at least I think the fighters at PFL in their lightweight league they were closer to her level because there were some fighters that just came in 0-0 and 1-0. She would have did better there. But Norma, she's having a tough time right now. She's just kind of hanging around. And, granted, she'll take the fight because it's money and it's activity, but it's not going to get her anywhere towards a ranking, And if that's true, like you said, Straya, that's going to be messed up on her part. Like, when Nunes retires, that belt is going to be gone. And then Norma's going to be like, well, what I hang around here for, right? They made me hang around and I can't even fight for a vacant belt, or I can't even fight Nunes. So it's going to suck on their part. It's going to suck on, her part for hanging around. So I don't think that's cool, man. So either build this thing or release these fighters so they can go over to 155 in PFL, or they can go to Bellator or something. And yeah, that's another. Well, Danielle, I don't think she would have fared at Bellator's featherweights because they got some experience over there too. So maybe like PFL would have been better for her. Australia said Wolf definitely should go to PFL. Wolf versus Fabian might be okay. Yeah, you get a good stand-up fight there. But there's even a couple of lower level fights that I think she'd be good in there with, like some of the new girls they had signed. Sleight of mind said, I would say that Nunes isn't even champion right now, but can't say that since she's defending her belt at featherweight. Yeah, she's still a champion. But my thing is, it's just like where's the direction going to be when she retired? Like for these girls that were loyal, you got Zara Ferrer Santos and Norma Dumont, who's just legit fighting anybody that's 145. She's coming off a loss now to Macy Chason, but she's still the one hanging around. And so what's Dana going to do though? Like say, oh, the day Nunes retires, he's like, okay, I'm releasing everybody. So Norma, she'll be pissed. She'll be like, dang, man, y'all couldn't even give me a shot at this title. I can't even pick it up. I can't pick up where she left off. That's messed up. Let's see. Ravioli said Wolf and Fabian look like they're cousins. Jenna Fabian, they kind of do. I mean, they're huge. Well, like you know what I mean. They're tall and big. Amazons. Yeah, she's 5'11", and I think what Jenna Fabian's like 6 foot or 6'1" or something like that. So that would like be a competitive stand-up fight. Let's see. Ravioli says Zara is still in the UFC. Yeah, she's still here. She just posted on IG. I just saw it myself that she's back now. So yeah, she's still in there. still in there. So eventually, got her, Norma, maybe her, Norma, Macy Chase on. They can fight unless they make her squeeze down. Let's see. Mark Bell said, "Have you seen this clip of Gabby and Stephanie Edgar?" Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I think I seen that. Yeah, because Stephanie Edgar got some judo, boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People think just because Gabby Garcia is huge, but no, like, Stephanie Edgar be getting in that work. Like she has a pretty good. She's a pretty good judoka. Yeah, she's good. Her and Myra Buena Silva fighting next, right? That might be a good fight. That's gonna be that's gonna be a tough one to call though. I give Stephanie Edgar a big chance against Myra Buena Silva though. Zama said Victoria Leonardo also looks like left get cousin. Looks like Danielle Wolf. She do kind of look like Danielle Wolf. Yeah, I just know that she do look like Danielle Wolf too. Her and Victoria Leonardo do kind of look alike. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the featherweights too. Like my thoughts on that. It's like I just kind of feel bad for Norma, man, because at some point she's gonna kind of get duped out of a title shot, even getting to fight Nunez. And I think she's been doing what she needed to do. Of course, one of her part of the screw up on her road to the title, eh, possible title of featherweight. She lost recently. She lost to Macy Chase on. So of course, that's on her. But other than that, like her trying to hold it down, because in one time, they were like, "We need you," and she felt loyal to do it. She said, but now she's like, "I don't know what's going on. Like, close it down if you ain't gonna keep me." After they told her that, I guess she was like, "Hey, close it down if you ain't gonna keep me." So that's how it is sometimes, man. Like, um, sometimes these contracts, like I said, the UFC don't mean the biggest. It doesn't mean like everything's gonna be gravy from here, like spotlights and big checks, man. Like, you have to make sure you go into a solid division. Like, I think Bellator probably would be good for anybody over 140, 145 and up. Bellator and PFL. That's all you want to get, like, because they are not taking care of the bigger women here. Gabby walks around like 220. She's big. Yeah, she's heavyweight. If there's gonna be a heavyweight WMMA division, she'll be the poster. Yeah, Cyborg is tiny compared to Gabby. Like, yeah, she'd be looking small. Okay, so how many of y'all ready for this fight? June 11th, Weili and Joanna. I know I'm ready. It's gonna be competitive. I want to see something different. Like I said, a high five said has Rose trained with Joanna. I don't know if they actually did. She's so eager to help Joanna. It's either she hates Whaley or she's an attention seeker, downgrading ATT. I don't know if she did, but it was put out there. Like, I haven't seen any footage with Rose around there. I mean, maybe she's been giving her pointers on the down low, but I haven't seen her actually out there. Like, I haven't seen anything out there. Joanna's been out there with her team, Karolina. Who else was there? I see Kayla Harrison out there, but I haven't seen Rose sliding through. So maybe not. Maybe that was just an offer because she said it was just put out there, but maybe they didn't take her up on it. And to me, that would have been a bad look anyway, because it's like, why you gotta have champ training this champ to beat this champ or this former champ? Like, you don't really see that. But yeah, this one I'm ready now because I want to see somebody make a change to their game. I want to see if Joanna still has what it takes now. Of course, she's unranked, but as soon as she busts back up in there, this fight's gonna be for number one for the title. Again, it sucks on Marina, but that's the business side of it. Man, Marina got to do something crazy, like get up in the cage or start tweeting Joanna's name, tagging her, calling her out, because it's not working. It is not working. Because JJ, she's got a 2-year layoff, one fight, and boom, she's back. I guess at some point, Marina probably should have been screaming for the Weili fight, right? Maybe she should have did that. That probably should have been, after Marina beat Yan Zhaonan, or even before the fight happened, when she was 3-0, she probably should have just tried to get that. Whatever Joanna was doing, she probably should have tried to do it first, because that's how you play chess, man. Like, that should have been the smart thing for Marina, is to follow her every move, because she unranked. So maybe Marina could have made the argument like, I'm 3-0, let me get Weili. And maybe Dana would have been like, okay, cool, we'll do that. If I beat Weili, I get the winner of Carla Rose. That might have worked out. And that probably would have pissed Joanna off something bad. But hey, that would have worked for Marina. Because then Marina could say, I beat a former champion now. I beat a number 1 or number 2 ranked fighter. You can't discredit me now. Because even Andrade, she was kind of trying to sneak this Marina. She was like, in that last tweet, she was like, you got to beat a former champion. She didn't say Marina's name, but she was like, no, like, you got to beat certain fighters to get that title shot. She was like, and I'm going to get that. So I don't know. Rabio said Marina should have beat Jan better. Yeah, that too. I mean, that, but on top of it, she probably should have went for Weili. Disrupt Joanna's plan to guarantee her plan. Or maybe, knock out Yan Zhaonan. If she would have knocked Yan Zhaonan maybe to smooth out in like the first round, Dana would have been impressed. And he would have been like, you got this. That is a clear-cut 4-0 streak. But now, when Dana sees like a questionable decision, he's going to think about it. He's going to be like, let me see. Should I put her in there? Carla might beat Marina again, and then I'm stuck with Carla. How about I say y'all made Marina a bad title contender and Dana wasn't impressed? Yeah, man. Like, that's what it is. Like, Dana's watching that every move. He's looking for blockbuster hits. He's like a movie producer. He wants to see things that his demographic is going to like. Those explosions and if not explosions, those IG looking model women. You know what I mean? Like, he wants things that's going to pay off and bring in more money, bring in more heads. And if you coming through with a half decision, controversial decision, there's going to be issues with that. He wants somebody at least trying that looks dominant. See, Joanna doesn't finish everybody, but Dana can still depend on her to put on a good fight because of her sometimes goofy actions out the octagon. She talking trash, this and that. But Joanna still fights for 5 rounds. She still looks like she's been in a fight for 5 rounds. Dana, he's cool with that. Ain't knocking anybody out, but he can still depend on her to put on a good fight. And that's why going into this one here with Weili and Joanna, he's probably expecting that barn burner, but I don't think that it's going to be like that. I think what I've been seeing with Weili, She's going to try some different things. I think Weili is going to want to press this fight and try to take it down more. But she also might look to chop Joanna down first. She probably wants to chop her down first before she goes for any type of wrestling attempts or clinch attempts. Because Joanna in the first few rounds is going to be strong and expecting that. Darby said, I hope Carla dominates the division for years just to piss Dana off in the majority of the WMMA fans. Yeah, sometimes I'd be thinking that too, because her style is her style. You know what I mean? Like if she did, I would laugh because it would make a lot of people mad. Yeah. Same like when Chikagan beats everybody, I kind of laugh at that because it annoys people. But I'm like, yo, beat her, man. If y'all want to beat her, beat her. But if Carla gets it and she wins every fight, it's respect on her name, I ain't gonna be mad at her. And it would be crazy if every fight was just like a non-event 5-round fight, but it would be bad for the whole sport because people would start walking away then. Because that's how the casual fan does. Oh man. But yeah, Joanna on her side, looking at her training, I'm seeing her doing her thing, man. She out there rolling, she out there getting the work in. I'm still questioning how much of that's going to transition over. Like, are we going to see her do a little something different? I don't know. We'll see. MJ said Weili versus JJ will be a dogfight, and Weili will try to KO her. Joanna is a slow starter. She's only dangerous in rounds 4 and 5. I don't know about that. Only dangerous in rounds 4 and 5. I don't think so. If you go back and look at that first Weili and Joanna fight. I mean, Weili was eating some hard kicks to the jaw in that fight, and she was getting her leg hit a lot. She was eating shots in that fight. Joanna did not start slow in that first Weili fight because a lot of people think she won the first 2 rounds. A couple of them were close. Sometimes our mind changes on the second round, but Joanna, I don't think of her as a slow starter. I mean, we got to pull that fight up again. I don't know about that. I don't think it'll be a dog fight either because Weili, I think, is going to change her mindset here too. I don't see her just going in there trying to KO her. No, she ain't going to try the same thing. I think Weili going to want to change this game up because she's going to want to win. It's smart. Got to fight smart. You only got 3 rounds to work, I know, but it would be wise for her to take a different approach because Joanna going to be putting some hands on her if you come in with the same game plan of trying to KO her. High Five said only her big toe landed on Weili's jaw. Come on now, let's be honest, High Five. Look, I thought Weili won that fight, but if only her big toe landed, that big toe made Weili's jaw move. Come on now. Why did her corner have to carry her back to that to their corner at that time? I'm just being real because look, Weili got to watch out for head kicks. I mean, when she switched to southpaw, she was putting some work on her too. So, I want to see Weili win and decisively. You know what I mean? Like I want to see her do some things differently this time because she caught a head kick. Now, like we go back and look at slow motion, that jaw moved, and I remember her trainer had to pick her up, and that's why they were like, "Oh man, it got to carry Weili back." Yeah, it was a good fight now. I was taking notes now. Mark said, I don't see Weili and Joanna being a dog fight this go around. I don't either. It's not wise. I mean, if it does, then nobody learn anything from the first fight. We got 2 fighters who ain't going to, well, they'll touch the belt because it's Carla. But other than that, no. A slight of mindset combo. If imagine if Joanna comes back with dynamite in her hands and had the power of Nunez and the speed of Val, what do you think happened? Well, those two things together, like that type of speed, that quickness, and a Nunez type of concussive power, it'd have to be all about quick like lightning. Not the way Joanna throws, but yeah, it would have to be about catching at the right moment. That quickness like Valentina, then I don't know what to tell Weili then. Yeah, yeah, Ravioli, yeah. That was that was around she got carried back to the corner. That's what I thought. Yeah, because like I was like when that kick connected to her jaw, I was like, okay, Weili, it's time to keep your hands up, because that one put a little bit of put a little ice in them legs right there. It got stiffened. But yeah, I see a little bit of Joanna doing, which I always see her do, but like I saw her doing a lot of head movement, a lot of feinting this time, a lot of good extensive punching, and that's going to be important for her to use her length and not get drawn into anything. Making everything just straight, you know, straight for your target, and a lot of head movement. A lot of head movement has to be there. And she's doing her southpaw. I see her doing some southpaw training too. So y'all remember that round in that first fight? There's going to be some keys to that, because when she went southpaw, it kind of took Weili not by surprise. I don't even think she knew, because she started getting hit more in that round, and that was one of the rounds I could decisively. The round when Joanna went southpaw was when I could give Weili a decisive round for sure. Some of the other rounds, they were kind of close. So for me, I think the fighter that doesn't do the most change to me, I think it might be Joanna. Could it be for the better? It possibly could, because I still think, Joanna striking and the way she sticks to it, that's what makes her elite at it. She doesn't make great changes. She believes in her stand up. Sometimes it can be a downfall, but she believes in it. So we'll see. So I think she's going to be the one with the least amount of changes. Weili, her improvements and her changes in here, they're going to have to really, really be something that can offset Joanna, because wrestling Joanna down is a task, man. It's going to be a very, very tough thing to do to me. And I think to make sure Weili can have success on the ground, she's got to be stronger than she was. Hang on, what do y'all? Oh wow, see Zaman. Oh boy, see Zaman, what are you talking? See Zaman, you get too comfortable. See, Marcus had to time you out, man. See, yeah, you tripping. See, I didn't even know, because like I said, on StreamYard I can't see it, but when I went to YouTube, I saw Marcus timing somebody out. So hey, yeah, come on, man, what you talking about? See, Marcus caught you, man. He caught you. See, yeah, I can't see those comments on StreamYard, but when I go to YouTube, I can see them. So, yeah, yeah, you heard him. Yeah, you gotta be timed out for a bit with that crazy talk. Darby said Joanna and Weili would be dumb to fight in the same exact manner as the first fight. They were both damaged, had to take extra time to recover. Yeah, I guess after a few rounds too, you have to think about it. The crowd, they start to egg them on, and when the crowd is roaring like that, it makes you want to fight harder like that. And Joanna, she be waving her hands like that to get the crowd amped up. She's loving it, but all the while her head is like putting on extra pounds of every minute. You know what I mean? So they got to be careful of that this time. Does Weili try to grapple more? If she does, she's got to, her technique has to be on point, especially how she gets her takedowns and when she gets her takedowns. To me, I think that's going to be a very big key here, because you can't stand too long with this long, tall striker that throws volume like that. It's got to be inside fighting. It's got to be clinching, and it's got to be some takedowns in these 3 rounds. To me, the first 2 rounds, they've got to be bagged by grappling. To me, they got to. How far I say it's Weili's coach. Bad move carrying her. A bad impression to the judges and to the crowd. The kick does stun her, but the headbutt charged after the kick, that really hurt her. Did not stun her. Yeah, I didn't think that was a good look to let her, to carry her back like that. James Perez said if she's successful at taking JJ down, not sure, but she would try to make her think more about attempting takedowns. Yeah, if she can't get like the first couple, I think that's going to kind of be discouraging. Especially if she gets caught, you got to be careful with the head kicks, Joanna throws, and face kicks, front kicks. James Perez said if JJ had more punching power, she would wreck most of the strawweight division. Yeah. Like if she had like at least Marina Rodriguez's punching power, yeah, I think there'd be a problem. Like even like if it carried up to 125, I think that would have made the Shevchenko fight even more interesting. But yeah, should be a good match. I'm looking for more of a technical match. Like I said, some people say, you ready to see this, ready to see how they throw down, ready to see them go crazy. I'm like, I don't want to see it like that, man. I want to see who can be. I want to see who made improvements. Not just changes, but improvements, y'all. All right. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we talked about everything tonight, man, on here. What else? Anything else? Anything else? I think that covers what I was talking about. Just another hour or so long show here. I might do a round by round tomorrow. I might do I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll do a round by round. I want to do one for Holly Holm in Cyborg again. That was a good fight. Tomorrow's Memorial Day, right? Maybe I'll do it after I get back. Whatever. That and we're leading up to next week. What's a good fight to do for leading up to Joanna and Weili? What is her name? Weili and Tisha Torres. Let's see. YouTube user says, how many years do you think Val has left? I want her to retire on top and dominant, but you never know. She seems like she wants to fight till she can't no more. Let me see. How many years does she have? Let's see. On this level that she's been showing. 3 to 4. I'll say maybe 3 to 4, because everybody that stays around longer than they should have, they start to lose it. I don't care who you are. I mean, human, I think you'll really start to see some fights get closer where she might start to get she might edge out a fight or two, maybe like a 3 or 4 year. It's gonna be in like another 3 or 4 years. Because it's gonna be 2 things. It's gonna be her slowing down, and it's gonna be the game evolving. I know she keeps up, but still, like, you're gonna have a lot of hungry young people out here that's not gonna be intimidated by her for long. Like, not everybody's gonna be like that. Believe me, in like another 3, 4 years, it's gonna be changing. And you can't help with your body. You can't help the change of your body. Yeah, like the minute you start to really lose something, I think it's time to go. Like the minute you start to go, let's see, Stray said Holly's reflexes have slowed and can't slip shots anymore. How does she handle going back to pro box? I think she gets embarrassed. Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be that bad, honestly. Like, I didn't know her reflexes were that bad. Like, basing it off what we had seen before, I thought she could hold it down, but like I didn't. Of course, this fight was a good time to gauge that. So the way she was getting hit by Ketlin Vieira might not be good. I mean, if she wants to just wrap it up with one more fight, I'm fine with that. But like, I don't see like her having this crazy long stint in boxing because, yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be like that. I really didn't think it was gonna be like that. But if she was to fight Amanda Serrano, she would probably get hurt because Amanda hits for bad, much more bad intentions. Ravioli said that Holly's performance was just odd. She kept getting caught throwing these stupid knee kicks. That's literally how Nunes KO'd her. Let's see. YouTube user said because last time she took any serious damages, Nunes won where she got busted open. So her chin is still really good to carry her for a bit longer. Yeah, like the day she gets to like, I know Stray has seen Lennox Lewis his last fight. When you get to that point, that's when you got to say it's time to go. When he fought Vitaly Klitschko and looked like he did, I was like, yeah, it's time to go. Because the guys were changing, the guys were bigger and stronger, and he was able to stop Vitaly Klitschko. But I mean, and you know, he also wasn't training like he should have. He was being in movies at the time, so. But I think he knew it too, though. His body told him. So you know, the day Valentina starts to get to a point where it's getting harder to keep up, and them reflexes start to go. It's time to go. James Perez said Father Time will catch up before other girls do. Father Time's gonna catch up for other girls. Yeah, but you know, at her age, you never know when it hits you. Never know. Like she might be able to draw it out, but you know, there might be one or two girls at the time. And you know what? It's not even about somebody catching up skill wise. It's just about somebody having the right thing at the right time. That's how a lot of fighters go out sometimes, you know, like let somebody come along with the right thing. Let one fighter come along with the right thing to catch that person at the right time because they no longer have that one thing and they're gone or they get knocked out. That's all it takes too. That's why I said this is the time. Well, this ain't the time right now because she's still prime, but like in a few more years, there's gonna be a fighter or two that may not be as good because let it be like Chris Weidman beating Silva. You know what I mean? Like, of course, yeah, he stuck his chin out, but overconfidence in determination and overconfidence over here and then determination in this fighter. This fighter over here exposed that because he was trying to show out. He got caught, right? And we can always argue, okay, in Silva's prime, Chris Weidman never would have beat him, right? Because he would have been on it. But the minute you do something or physically it's not there anymore, there's somebody that's going to be able to expose that. It's possible Holly could have been rusty, maybe from the time off and the surgery too. I think we'll see for sure after one more fight. It's scary though, yeah. 40 years old though, yeah. The thing is, fighters themselves rarely admit that problem. Somebody else needs to do it for them, like Holly. Yeah, and I've seen it too many times. I mean, a lot of y'all probably seen it too many times where we can always say, okay, maybe it's one more fight, maybe they were just off. But like Anderson Silva. Like it just keeps going. It just keeps going. It keeps going. Evander Holyfield. After that, it just keeps going. It keeps going. Roy Jones. It just keeps going. They just keep losing. They keep saying, "Oh, maybe it was something different. Maybe something was off that night." No, you just don't have it anymore. And I know they hate to admit it because that was something that they've been doing for a long, long time. But still, even boxing, Bernard Hopkins, he had one of the most safe styles in there. But eventually, younger people started beating him too. Yeah, Ali Holmes. Yeah, Ali Holmes. I mean, Ali lost to Holmes. I mean, how Holmes and what was his name, Trevor Burbick in two last fights. Those are guys. I didn't think he ever lose to, but he could lose to him in his prime. But yeah, Holmes is like one of them fighters. Holmes caught a Ali at the right time, and that could be her situation one day. So I'd say maybe about 3 to 4 years tops. We just talking about her just taking an L, or we talking about her taking L's and losing the magic? You know what I mean? Losing that fire. Because there's a difference now. Like Val could lose in between and not look bad, but still come back and avenge it. But there could be a time when she just loses the fire. Like, is that what we're talking about? Losing the fire? Because yeah, maybe losing that fire. I don't know if she really the type to lose that fire in 3, 4 years. Might take a L, like I said, but she could avenge it. Avenge it. TJ said Holly Holm is done. She's not even looking good to a return to boxing. He says time to hang it up. James Press said, of course, her being that great, especially defensively, changes everything. She's a definition of hitting, got to get hit. Training is a factor too, but I think she's very smart about it. And she takes time off travels. Honestly, decide everything else is her hunger. That's insane. Yeah. Yeah, training is like a big part of it though. Like, let's see, Floyd, probably one of the most defensively sound fighters in the game. And eventually even they start to lose it. And it could be just one of those situations. Like everybody's gonna lose it at some point. It's a matter of knowing when to get out. I think that's what it is with me. Like, yeah, like TJ said, if you have to know when to get out, not overstay your welcome. Like I said, everybody is pretty much having a different. Everybody has a different story how they get there, but in the end, it's pretty much all the same. Sometimes, like how it can go, you can either know when to fold or keep going. So to me, it's like, yeah, that day will come when we'll see if she knows when to leave or not. Like now we seeing with Holly, Holly's racking them up. She's racked up quite a few L's. She's 40 now. Still fighting on that high level again. I don't know. Oh yeah, I know about that too, Zama. Yeah, like those figure skaters. Yeah, they retire at young ages. Yeah, because and it's different. It's a different sport. Different sports require for different type of muscles. So yeah, fighters have long careers compared to them, but again, it depends on what type of fighter you are too. Like what type of style you have. Fighters sometimes will have short careers if they're just head first fighters. And I'm talking about a good stable career now, not just like a punching bag. I'm talking about somebody that's got a career. You know what I mean? They made it into a career where they can still make money off of their name and stuff. That's a fighter that still is fighting at a high level. Let's see. Raviel said Valentina's style is good for longevity. Even when she starts to slow down, her grappling could carry her. Yeah. YouTube users, I still think she has unfinished business with Nunes. And Nunes wins the rematch opinion. I hope Val fights her. Would love to see her get that official win against Nunes. Eventually, yeah, gymnastics is hard on the body too. Yeah, Raviel. Yeah, those type of things are hard. That's why I'm telling people, like, sometimes they say, oh man, I want to be like these athletes, like these gymnasts, and their physiques are like on top, they just have like the best physique. Sometimes I'm like, there's a lot of work that goes into that. You just don't know how much pain some of these people are in because they put a lot of wear and tear on their body to do some of these crazy things they do. It takes a lot. That's why I say for your average person, if you're just trying to live, you just need to be working out on a regular basis as far as just keeping your body active. But I'm not trying to get to this point no more. Like, I'm not doing that. Especially the older you get, stuff be tearing easy. I ain't not trying to put my body through that type of punishment. He just said there won't be a third Nunes fight. Back on that. I'd really like to see Pena and Shevchenko too. Got BJ in the building. BJ in the building. He out there driving. BJ, what you got to say about Pudilova coming back? Let me know if you want to link for at least 5-10 minutes. I just need to, if you want to get your words out on Pudilova. I just got done talking about her. I got a couple questions for you about Pudilova, man. I mean, if you're driving, I don't want to hear a bunch of wind blowing, and I know you got the ladies riding in the car too, so I don't want to hear a bunch of ladies screaming. I want to hear a bunch of ladies screaming your name, and the wind blowing out there. So hey. Closum said, why would she fight her a third time? Usually people only want a rematch when they feel like they lost. Yeah, I mean, you got the third fight coming up with Volkanovski and Holloway. And they were so close that everybody wants to see that thing, excluding me. I don't really care. Like I don't really care about that fight anymore. I actually kind of want to see Shevchenko and Pena fight again, before I see a third fight with Nunes and what is her name? Nunes and Shevchenko. I really don't want to see it again. Honestly, no, I don't. If they were to sign it, I would watch it. But if you ask me if I wanted that fight, that'd be like if they gave me a choice to say, "Would you want to see this fight?" I'd be like, "No, I would, don't make it." Yeah, I don't want to see that fight again. Let's see. James Perez says she's been calling for the Nunes 3 fight since she got screwed. Nunes and UFC never really wanted it. It takes a lot to win them type of fights, though, man. Like, that's the one thing I said about Val going into that fight too, though, man. Like, no, after the fight, I said, look, okay, she's a good fighter and everything, but not everybody's perfect. Like, to me, she had to turn it up. You still have to turn it up in there. And then I'm using just general words when I say turn it up, but as a fighter, you know what it means. Colosum said, I thought you wanted to see Val versus GDR. I do. I want to see that more than Nunes Shevchenko 3. But I'm just saying, out of title fights, I want to see Val in the Pena fight. more. But yeah, I definitely want to see that fight. That's on my top of my list. Brian Williams said, "Thank you. You're welcome. What are you thanking me for?" And what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. About turning it up again. I have to use boxing a lot because, like I said, it's just a background from, and yeah, it's a combat sport. But even Floyd, when Floyd would fight defensively, Floyd would turn it up. And that's where she differs from him. That's why he would never take an L in there, because y'all can try to lie all day and say, "Oh, he chose competition, this and that." No, whatever. He knew how to fight in there, and he knew how to he knew how to use defense, and he knew how to use offense. He knew how to turn it up. But there's times when, again, going back to that second fight, when I saw Val doing what she was doing at times, I was like, all right, if she lose, she ain't got nobody to blame but herself. You can't blame the judges. You can't blame anybody, because if you were dominant, you still have to go in there and make it, that presence known. You still have to make it known. Like, yeah, you technically better than Nunes, but do something in there that's going to take it to the next level. We wouldn't be having this argument today if she had taken it to the next level. Like, every time Floyd was in there with a championship fighter, they tried to rob him, and it was legit robbery. Like, the De La Hoya fight was not a split decision. The Canelo fight was not a majority decision. He beat both of these guys soundly. They just tried to rob him on the scorecards for real. But he was always doing enough to control the fight defensively and offensively. But you can't get carried away sometimes with defense. You still have to go in there and remember it is a fight, you know? So yeah. If she would turn it up, she would have got it. That's why I'm just kind of like, I don't know if we should really see that again, because nobody's going to take the reins. There has to be some give and take there, man. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's got to go in and take the lead. Brian Williams said, because UFC fighters are scored round by round, a bloody nose means nothing outside. A bloody nose outside the round. Oh, okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, it doesn't mean. I mean, maybe one day I'll do a round by round on it. I just don't feel like it sometimes. I might watch it by myself and make my pick again. But if it's something that I gotta really watch closely like that, it's like, okay, man, like there came a point where somebody had to not do enough, because I said that too, man. I was like, technically you better, and defensive wise you better, but you gotta start letting go. Oh yeah, BJ, I sent you a link. Yeah. Did I? Yeah. I sent you a link. Val, YouTube user said Val was definitely piecing her up in that rematch. I'm a big fan of both, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, yeah, we can all think this and that, but there's still something about that fight not clicking, where it was like no clear winner. Like, what'd you think of the decision besides her getting pieced up? YouTube user, did you think that? Were you mad when Nunes got it? Like, did you think it was robbery, or what? What did you think? Aside from her doing that, piecing her up, like, what do you think? Like, did she get it convincingly to you, Shevchenko, or do you think it went to the right person? What was that fight? Remind me of a boxing match between Jermaine Taylor and Bernard Hopkins. It was like neither one of them really doing anything. You know what I mean? Neither one of them really doing anything, but the person that's just doing a little bit more got it. Because Bernard Hopkins, he can be overly defensive too sometimes, and if he's not turning it up, then they're not going to give him the fight. I don't know if I feel like it. I might watch it tonight. Later on. Yeah, yeah. There he goes. Okay. Yeah, coming up on the tail end of this thing, but I just got to get my man's take on things. PJ, what's going on? I hear the wind blowing. I don't hear his voice though. Where you at? Yo, yo, where you at? I know you heard that wind. That was BJ. He dipped out again though. Okay, so YouTube viewers said it showed that Val was a better technical fighter. I would have gave it to Val, but judges are going to be judges. So, like your point, I can see what you mean. Okay, Big George, what's going on? He says, so they finally going to see Danielle Wolf fight. I guess so, man. I guess so. We finally got her in the ring, octagon. Stray said, who does Tank fight next? Lomachenko, Lopez, Cambosis, Haney winner. Well, first off, I just found out, Stray, it's not going to be Haney Cambosis winner because Haney Cambosis got a immediate rematch in Australia. So win or lose, Haney Cambosis are fighting again. So I would like Lomachenko. Yeah, or Lopez, either one of those, but I take Lomachenko. Oh, Daniel Wolf is fighting Norma Dumont. All right, let's go on again. And BJ just driving in the dead zone. I don't know what he doing. Uh, oh, George said I think she should fight Leah Letson. Yeah, Leah Letson's been kind of she lost that last fight, but she's been on kind of inactive. I know she just got married, but I think that probably would have been a better fight for her. But they need somebody. Daniel Wolf need to be in PFL. The 1-0 ain't really much of a division going on here. Okay, your phone tripping. All right, I got you. Yeah, TJ, she's fighting Norma Dumont. Why didn't Zara and Daniel Wolf fight? I don't know. I don't know why they didn't make that fight. Was Zara out on injury? I don't know if MJ knows anything about that. Let me see. Because I know she just said she was back. It's been like a year, but BJ said who's fighting Norma? Daniel Wolf. Okay, let me see. Let's see. This was posted 3 days ago for Zara. George to Alice Arlene. Man, she's a featherweight. I tell you that, right? She looks like a featherweight. Go ahead and get an interview with her, George. I'll watch. James Press says Shakur versus Loma would be great. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I like that. That's the fight I was thinking of. I want Shakur and Loma, and then let Tank and Tio fight. Yeah, Shakur and Loma, that's easier to make since they both on top rank and they both on ESPN. So yeah, I think right now Shakur is in a good place to capitalize on him, man. Big Joy said, "What do you think about the message I sent you?" Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. TJ said Leah Letson looked bad to me in her last outing. Uh, Todd Johnson in the building. What's going on? Appreciate that, man. He said no one can beat Valentina. Yeah, Valentina, man. What do you think, Todd? Do you want to see the rematch, the rubber match? Everybody talking about the rubber match in here. Nunez, Shevchenko 3. Oh yeah, I'm off tomorrow too, so I'm gonna be chilling here for a minute now. I was about to get off, but I was like, you know what? I ain't got too much. I did everything I needed to do today, so I know TJ looking for 4 hours, but I don't even know if I'll do that. But I'm not in a hurry right now. Yeah, Memorial Day's tomorrow, so I ain't got nothing going on. Already been out yesterday and today, so I'm a recovery day. Um, B just says Zara and Letson. That's not a bad fight. Zara and Letson's not a bad fight. That's probably more on the level since they both been inactive and both, haven't both coming off of losses. Daz said Valentina won that fight and Nunez knows it. I mean, everybody, got their take on it. I just wish Val would have turned it up more if she was gonna argue that. I'm gonna watch it again just to see where my mind changes every time. Yeah, George, Karolina, Felice. It could be a retirement fight too. For both of them. Yep, I don't know, man. Ravel said, whether you think Nunez won or not, Valentina made the GOAT look quite silly. TJ said, I believe Felice and Caroline are both done after this one. Yeah, I think they should both be, especially for Caroline. I was talking about that earlier. It's kind of scary where she's at. I mean, 5 fight losing streak. Nobody wants to go out like that. I understand. So maybe she just wants to break that losing streak. YouTube users, I put gender aside. Val is number one pound for pound, even above Usman, in my opinion, of course. That her and Usman at least equal. Um, I might say about equal to me, even including gender, because I think they both are dominant in their own way. Now, Val, I think, is more technically sound, but see, this is what it is with these two fighters. Like, I would put Usman and Valentino on the same level, like gender aside, on the same level because how they win and their how they're dominating in their getting their victories. Because for Nunez, I think she's better technically. She's much more appreciative of defense than Usman can be. But with Usman, he's not leaving he definitely not leaving his fights to the judges. He's getting fighters out of there, right? He's dominant in that fashion. Like whether he wrestling Jorge Masvidal to death or he's figuring guys out behind his jab, he's breaking them down. So both of them are always winning in dominant fashion as of lately. With Shevchenko couldn't get that victory against Nunez. That was a while back. But since then, her streak at 125 has been a perfect road. And to me, Usman has been hurting some fights, but still, he's always coming out the clear-cut winner. Like he still comes out the clear-cut winner. So to me, they both are really, really pound for pound dominant fighters that nobody else is really touching them. George said, so you heard Shields is fighting Marshall in September. Yeah, because some about Savannah Marshall has surgery, right? And, Shields has been clowning her saying she lying. So I don't know. But yeah, it's supposed to go down sometime in September. And I can't wait. After that, I think Clarissa's taking a year off from boxing or something like that. Valentina and John Jones are the. Imagine if you had both at the time, you can win. Yeah, it's hard to choose between those two. Dang, people act like some of these pro fighters are God. No, man, that's why I would keep my mind open to something, anything that could happen in there, you know? Yeah, but yeah, John, to me, when we talk current status of today, but yeah, like John Jones to me, yeah, he's always gonna be that fighter. I don't think the Kobe fight was a draw. I think I had it 3-2. Kobe had some good moments in that fight. He did kind of stun Usman a little bit, but Usman came back to me. So I would say I'd say Usman. Yeah, it wasn't a draw to me. I think that was probably one of his toughest. That shows you how tough Kobe is, though. Stray said, "Is Shields Marshall going to live up to Taylor Serrano? Precedent has been set now." I think it can. I think it can because of the energy, and I think Marshall bringing that power factor. It's going to be a scary fight. Clarissa likes to fight. She'll throw down. Clarissa likes to throw punches. She's not a heavy puncher, but she likes to box and she lets her hands go. But Marshall, she's got a dangerous pop to her shots. Got to be real. She can hit hard. So I think that this being a heavier fight, it's going to live up. I said John Jones is the best in the world. Yeah, aside from what people say, I still think John Jones, is technically still untouchable in some ways. Yeah, he hadn't looked good in the last few fights, but I think even when he comes back at heavyweight, he's gonna give these guys some problems. Ravioli said Kobe looked better in the first fight. He tended to land more with significance, but I think in this second fight, his volume kind of went up. Yeah, Clarissa's gonna be out of boxing for a year, I think, but she should be fine. She should be good. I mean, I don't know if she's going to MMA, but she's just chilling. Supposed to take a little break, I think, after the Savannah fight. Oh, Leon Edwards. Oh, but yeah, man, it's another fight week. And I think I'm gonna go with Rosenstreich so far. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really invested in that one. I'm actually trying to see Aaron and Aaron and what's her name? Not Aspen. JJ, yeah. Who else was on here? Let's see. I think I'm getting hungry here, so I might get off here in a minute. Aaron Blanchfield. Wow. Oh man, Aaron Blanchfield and JJ Aldridge is gonna be the first fight on this card. So it's at 1 p.m. So don't miss it. Don't forget, y'all, this is an early card. 1 p.m. is the preliminaries, and the main card is at 4 p.m. Clarine Silva and Poliana Bateo, Felice versus Karolina. They're on the main card, which starts at 4 p.m. JJ and Aaron gonna kick this thing off at 1 p.m. So I'm ready. Hopefully they are. George said, "See if Clarissa wins. Who do you think she should fight next after her hiatus?" I don't know. Maybe she might need to go to Singapore time, George. Yeah, maybe she needs to go. No, I don't really know who else she could fight. See, boxing, women's boxing is hard, man. It's not that. it's not that deep like WMMA. All right, Stray said he's out. He just said if JJ wins, Blanchfield's gonna hear those hype train comments throwing black at her. Hannah Gabriels, a rematch of Hannah Gabriels. That's not a bad. That's not a bad fight. If there's a belt on the line, Hannah Gabriels. I mean, Hannah Gabriels. She actually beat. Did she ever? Yeah. No, wait a minute. Did she fight Christina Hammer? Were they supposed to fight? No. Like she thinks she fought somebody else, Sarah Dwyer or something like that. Yeah, she's been on 3-fight win streak since that fight. She just fought not too long ago. No. It's been a year since she's fought, so I don't know what she's up to either. But he just said I knew Pudilova would be back. Zama said Aaron doesn't get any respect from the UFC and Bullet, but they will know. Well, Valentina's gonna give her about the respect that she feels she deserves right now, right? You got to earn that respect. You got to earn that respect. You don't get that respect with talking. Like, believe me, I got Aaron on my list as threats, but to get the respect of other fighters, you got to start earning that respect. You know how you earn that respect. You go in and start whooping tail. Like for me as a fan or analyst, whatever you want to call it, you have got my attention of what you could possibly be. But for a fighter like Valentina, that's so far off. This girl ain't even ranked now. Look, I'm gonna look at it in the eyes of Valentina right now. Why would I be worried? All right. I'm speaking from Valentina's mindset, her perspective. Why would I need to give Aaron Blanchfield respect? All right. This is probably what Valentina's thinking. Like, why am I gonna worry about her? Like, why she need my respect? I got the belt. I defended my belt, 6 times? She's not even ranked. She's got to earn this spot. She's got to earn some spots like Manon has done. Like she knows who Manon is. You knew that name was coming up. You knew that name was coming up. She knows Manon because hey, she's been fighting her way up. She said, yeah, Manon, she knew her style because she's watching those fighters. But if it's somebody that's not really on her trajectory, she kind of like, I don't know who that is. And I think when it comes down to it, Val probably knows who she is, but she knew she threw that little comment at her, right? She threw that little comment at her about calling her a hype train. So she knows what she's doing mentally and psychologically. So somebody like, Valentina, like I said, speaking from her perspective on what I think she thinks, she's like, I ain't gotta respect this young, like George said, young punk. I was like, I ain't got to give her no respect because she ain't even ranked. Come see me when you beat Arujo and like 4 other fighters, like Taylor did or like Manon did. Come climb these rankings first and then come see me. Like she see what Grasso's doing. Now, from my point of view, I think eventually she will be top 10 material. I think she just don't need to worry about Valentina or even call her out. Just keep pushing and doing what you do. And I think she beats quite a few girls in the top 10. But when she gets to like a Arujo, it's going to be trouble and so on. But yeah, Val is just doing what she do. She's talking facts for her perspective. YouTube users say, yeah, you can't worry about someone who isn't even ranked when you're the champ. You worry about your top 5. Right. And that's what she did. Like she named everybody in the top 5 that's hard working and could possibly get it. She was like, hey, Alexa Grasso. She was like, yeah, I'll fight her. She was like, eventually, we'll fight. Misha Tate, yeah, if she beat Lauren Murphy, she said, we'll fight. Manon, yeah. Now, Casey O'Neill, she said, she needs some more work, which I agree with her on that. But, like girls in the top 5, Grasso and them. She's like, yeah, I got my eyes on them. I'm watching. It's all in that situation where you get in line. Todd Johnson said JJ Aldridge is a phenomenal fighter. I like her. I enjoy watching her technical style. I like to see her turn it up a little bit more, but yeah, technically she's good and she's getting better. Yeah, it's the first fight on the card, man. James Perez said, who you lean into for Nunes Pena too? Tough call. Let me see. Right now, I think Nunes still got a chance to get her belt back. I do. I think Nunes has a chance. Big chance still. Now I think with the psyche from how Pena works, I think she evened it up a bit. Went from 70-30 to 50-50 now. Valentina's no hype. I love Grasso. Don't put her name in there with Val. Val already did. So, she's just trying to get them dubs now. Yeah. She don't want that title shot right now. Another 3 or 4 years. Because she says she wants to win the belt. She just don't want a title shot. And I think that says a lot. Let's see. YouTube user said crazy to think if Misha beats Lauren, she'll most likely get a title shot because she'll have beat number 2. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Do y'all think it should be main event though? Because Val said she think that would be main event. Shevchenko versus Tate, a main event pay-per-view. What do y'all think? Valentina already got that planned out, I think, because she said that would make a nice pay-per-view main event. With something like that, they should throw more women fights on the card. Like, say if somebody like Valentina or Weili headline a card, they need to go ahead and throw at least like total of 6 women fights, prelims and main event, just to really get people in the mood of what's to come from the other fighters. Excuse me. Zama said Blanchfield beat slow flat-footed Santos now. I don't know about that. YouTube user said Nunes needs to be in the right headspace. Otherwise, outcome will be the same. Pena has a strong mental game. Yeah, her mental game, I knew it was strong. And her mic game is strong. Her mic game is strong, but her mental game, definitely even this fight up for me. And if her mental game is still as strong, man, that's a big part of it. So I don't know. Nunes gonna have to make sure she on her game. Cause style wise too, it was just trouble for her. Yeah. Okay. Brian Williams said, not for casuals, for diehards like us, we gladly pay to see Valentina in a main event. Tape might not be enough for casuals, but I doubt it. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, like that. That ring to it, Shevchenko versus a former, ground layer of the WMMA bantamweight division. The UFC's got a ring to it for Val. And I think if she was able to get something like that, she thinks she can rival, Pena and Nunes, their upcoming pay-per-view. And that would help put them on the map even more. I mean, yeah, I think we have to have some strong men fights on there too, like a good co-main event to make those casual fans really want to buy it too. Like it's got to have something as a nice co-main event, I think, for men. But you still got to put some more women on there too, just so they can get a chance to win over more fans. But I like that fight as a main event at this point because Shevchenko been putting it down for a while, so why not go ahead and test her out as a pay-per-view main event now? Donovan said, I don't even think the hardcore MMA fans will pay if that's a main event. I don't know. I gotta have it, man. Gotta take a chance. I mean, at most, UFC fight night. At most, maybe a UFC fight night card or something like that, right? I mean, that, of course, you top that. Like Holly Holm, she gets those. Joanna gets those. MJ said, that Grasso start fighting in the UFC 6 years ago, and she still don't want top fight. She only wants to fight. She thinks she'll win. Wow. No, honestly, I don't even think the hardcore. Oh yeah, I don't think hardcore fans would want to buy it. Yeah, I would. BJ said Misha's beating Murphy convincingly. Marcus said looks like Grasso is ready for Valentina if she wins. Okay, let me pull this thing up. Let me pull this article up. Hold on. Grasso credits improve UFC run. All right, let's see what she got to say. Okay, so Alexa Grasso is ready. All right, Grasso credits improve UFC run to eliminate extreme weight cut eyes fight against Shevchenko. I think that it helps a lot because all my camp, I was at the same weight. It was not like the last 115 fight because I was big, then I was small, then big and bloated with stomach issues and all those things. Now I keep eating all week. I have a weight cut, man, that they're feed me and I can eat all day and it feels amazing. I think it's the most important week. It's not good that you have to put low calories and low water. I don't think that's good. I've seen on myself. All right, let's see. What else does she think here? I have a lot of. Wait a minute. Okay, so with 3 wins in the flyweight division, Grasso is inching towards a meeting with Shevchenko. About that, she said she's willing to take sooner rather than later. Should Shevchenko's upcoming Taylor Santos be forced to withdraw for any reason, she likes her chances of pulling off upset. I have a lot of yes, of course, I have a lot of experience like her, but I'm working so hard, and I've seen Brandon Molino talk all that. When you work hard, when you have a vision, when you're doing everything that it requires to be there, you can achieve it. So I'm believing in myself. I'm working so hard to be ready for Valentina. I respect her so much. It'll be an honor to face her. She said I got a lot of experience like her, but just a little while ago, she said she needed more experience to get there. I don't know. I don't know. To step in for Santos, I think that would be too big right now. I don't think she need to do that. Try to step in for Santos, nah. Because just a year ago, and she hadn't fought too much in that year, she just said she wasn't ready. So I don't know. James Perez said sooner or later it's coming. Yeah. Because I know a year ago she wanted to, take her time. She said, I need more fights. Todd said Grasso's good, but you get a win against she ain't getting a win against Valentina. YouTube user said, I think that's an old article. Is it? It said a day ago. The date is May 28th at Marcus Bell. The one you sent, it says May 28th on it. Brian Williams says, so who steps in if Santos or Valentina have to pull out? Yeah, it's a new article. Yeah, yes, it's new. It's new. It's May 28th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, just 4 hours ago. I'm I'm not sure who would step in. Todd Johnson, I guess. Grasso's gonna take a loss. Yeah, I guess so. Andrea Lee. Mhm. Who wants to step in? We'll throw Andrea Lee in there. I know what y'all gonna say, so I threw that name out there. Um, Chikagan hasn't fully signed on yet to her Minone fight, so she might try to jump in there. But Minone's there at number 6. She be next in line. 5 and 6. Yep. If Val had to pull out and somebody had to fight Taylor, man, that Minone and Taylor fight, that would be good. James Presley, well, it's just an argue for the sake of argue. Close jump, yeah. Everybody, yeah, pretty much think Minone, she probably be the one. Brian Williams, yeah. You know what I was doing there. Darby said, Grasso isn't well rounded. That's why she won't beat the top division. And it hurts me to say that. Macy Barber. Oh, man, you trying to get somebody. Macy Barber. Macy Barber. I mean, if it, let's say if Val had to pull out Minone and Taylor, yeah, Minone and Taylor, that would be good. Yeah, that would be really good. I think I'd be more intrigued with that fight. Like if hopefully nobody has to pull out, but yeah, Valentine had to pull out, that would be intriguing right there. Uh-oh, Darby said Grasso isn't well rounded. Uh-oh. I know BJ ain't gonna stand for that, right? BJ, he ain't gonna stand for that. YouTube, Zama said Firo won't make weight even within 3 weeks' notice. It would be a rough weight cut if he did. TJ says she hasn't shown him the grit to push through adversity during the fight. Yeah, there's still a lot of names out there to test herself with, and I think Arujo is gonna give her some good work. There's gonna be some good work. All right, so let's see. Got about 20 y'all in here. Make sure y'all hit that like. Let's get to 19 to 20 likes. Since we got 20 in here, let's 20 out of 20. Let's do 20 out of 20 likes before I roll. TJ said Grasso was tested by Barber, hasn't shown any improvement since then, but she'll be ready for Valentina. Appreciate it, MJ, like always. MJ says 6 freaking years in the UFC, you don't want a title shot. It's unbelievable. I guess it kind of speaks for itself, MJ. Like if you haven't progressed to that point in 6 years, you can't really ask for one, right? I mean, that kind of tells what level you're on from from the outside looking in, because there's fighters like Joanna who's been here for a minute, but she knows off of her resume what she's done and where she's been, that she's got a resume. She's already touched the belt, of course, but she can even come back and argue for another title shot. But even for like Alexa Grasso for 6 years in the UFC, that shows you, like, even if you look at the resume, there hasn't been a level where she could really argue for a title shot. This is the first time she's ever got there. This is the first time she's got here. So now is that time. So yeah, why? thought about what you said there. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I noticed that too. And I think it's because they know the level hadn't been there yet. It's just this the first time that she's really got here. Because even at strawweight, after losing to Felice Herrig and then a close fight with Randa Marcos, and then the fight that probably would have got her close to a title shot was a Suarez fight. She got finished in one round, right? And then she went off and beat Karolina. Another close fight with Carla Esparza. So levels was always a problem there. Like Carla, Tatiana, those fights she couldn't go in there and capitalize off of. And just said no excuses. She's on a winning streak, but still, like this winning streak ain't a good. To me, you it's not a good enough winning streak for a title shot. To me, there's got to be more to it. Yeah, she's ranked over Manon, but I don't really think she should be. But I don't think she's still ready for it. Yeah, she said she wants it in that article that Marcus said, but is she gonna get it? Will she win it? I don't think so. But this is the best she's ever. This to me, this is the best she's ever looked. Honestly, the win streak she has put together, and it's the highest she's been ranked. So I don't think she should get too crazy with it and mess that opportunity up now. So um, you got to look at the win streak. Is my thing too. Like Jin Kim, Macy Barber, JoJo. Uh, and how it was won. You two said now I'm stuck on seeing Manon and Santos. How could they arrange that if Santos loses? If Santos was to lose, and if like Chikagan had to pull out, then they could make Manon and Santos. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, TJ, with that whole situation like that, Darby said Modafari fought for 20 years, did everything she could to avoid a title shot. I mean, it's true. It's like because when I read that article, she said it was never on her mind to go into the UFC become champion. I was like, oh really? That's a different way of thinking. That was something new to me. Donovan said Grasso's game, but she's a long shot at becoming champion. Yeah, she's game like in the top 10 where she's at. I think she could beat Lee. Right now could beat Maya, but the fights in question, the ones in front of her, like Rujo, we need to see that. Potential Manon sometime. A big fighter like Lauren Murphy. Excuse me. James Press said doesn't look like it's happening. Yeah, I was talking about that the other day. Yeah, that's how I was telling everybody. I was like, it's not Manon's fault or anything like that. Chikagan said she wasn't going to be able to do that date. Yeah, Donovan. Yeah, she just liked to compete. When it came down to it, at least she didn't hold. Well, I won't say she didn't hold division up, but at least she didn't really like have people thinking that she was going to do it and then pull out the last minute. She was actually backtracking at different times, and she was just fine with where she was. So eventually, she gone now. I mean, eventually it was going to catch up, and she was just going to fight on the level she was on. Mastermind, what's up? He said, no need Grasso, even Misha can beat Murphy. Zama Sagrasso beats Lauren Murphy easy. I have to see it. James said, I feel like Chikage Manon was a fight to make for Manon to measure where she really stands. Oh, don't get me wrong, it was. It is. It still is. I mean, come on. That's the one fight in this channel I've been talking about, man. You know me. But things happen. I mean, it would be nice because it would have been a nice card in France, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they can do to if they can talk her into it or not. Efren said Roxy pretty much had a go-to mentality. Not the ability, but the mentality. That's fine. Yeah, I caught that, man. As soon as you said mentality, I was like, yeah, she got that mentality. But as far as like skill, as far as the ability, no, like she ain't blasting. He said that mentality. Yep. Right down to the costumes and maybe the lingo, but not but not the ability. That's funny. Let me see that. Y'all see that, right? He said Roxy had the Goku mentality, but not the ability. Mastermind said he's ready for a new champion. Yeah, it's nice for change. I don't mind Valentina doing what she's doing because that just means she's that good. That means somebody's just getting better every day or every fight. Yeah, Tom said, Clarissa's hands. Let me see. Was there anything else new besides what I had talked about? Hold on one second. Let me wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I was trying to see if there's anything new on Chikagan not making the fight. Oh boy. I know y'all ain't going at it now. Hey, look, Mastermind, I think he'd be a troll. Was he? I mean, he just saying he wants to see somebody different. Efren said if Tatiana comes back to flyweight and stays healthy, I think she's the biggest threat to Shevchenko. Man, BJ said which weight for Lucy? That was what I was going to ask you. I was about to ask you that, BJ. What do you think? Because I think 125 would probably be the best weight for her. Even though 135 needs people, I think 125 might be the best for Pudilova. Because she's already lost to some of those girls like Irene Aldana and Liz Carmouche. I don't know if she can handle those bigger, stronger fighters like Sarah McMahon and them. So yeah, I think 125. Get in that mix. Test your skills against Montana first. I think the first fight they should have her do is Montana. Montana, and then Montana and Melissa Gatto. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that fight. That was a war, right? Aldana and Pudilova. Let's see, she lost to Carmouche, Alina Landsberg. Alina Landsberg, she'll clinch the hell out of you. When y'all talking about fanboy logic, making excuses for your favorite fighter, no matter what. With fanboy logic, everything is possible. Even grapplers got perfect striking, and strikers got a perfect ground game. crazy. Oh wow. Fanboy logic. I only do real talk. She beat up Aldania. I gotta go back and look at that, man. YouTube was a YouTube. You said okay, but what does this mean for Misha Tate? Lipsky and Pudilova. That's a good fight. I know you don't want to see Lipsky De La Rosa. That's your girl too. So yeah, Lipsky and Pudilova. That's a good fight. If she gets signed, which she already is, and she's on her way to 125, that's the fight to make. Yeah, that's a good one. Ariane Lipsky, Pudilova, because they're gonna go all out. That's gonna be action. Darby said, "I want to see Chikagan get another title shot just so I can see Valentina beat her up again." Wow, man. Brian said Lucy and Aldania was a bloodbath. Yeah, I kind of remember some of these fights run together, but I was like, wasn't that was a brutal fight, right? Say she beat BJ said she beat her up, but I got to see how close it was. All right, it's 10:30. You're getting off of here at 10:30 at the 10-minute mark. Oh, she made a mistake though, and when she turned into a wrestler, she should have stayed striking because you saw what happened when she turned into a wrestler. Antonina turned into a grappler. Antonina turned up into a grappler and choked her out, man. Vein popping out of her neck. She passed out, right? Did Shevchenko make it? Did she tap or did she pass out? Hold on, let me pull that up. Shevchenko, Pudilova. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm gonna look at that real quick. Shevchenko, Pudilova. Here it goes. Yeah, she turned into a wrestler, but see, Shevchenko turned into a grappler. She got that back, Kimura, and she's getting that hook up under the neck. Pudilova. Oh, she got that hook under. Look, Pudilova ain't tapping. Ref is checking her wrist. She ain't moving, man. Pull her off. She ain't moving. Shevchenko. She had been out, man, and the referee was just like her wrist was limp. Yeah, man, she nearly killed her, man. The wrist was limp, and like the referee checked it, and then he went to the other side all slow, and she wasn't tapping because she was gone. Like her face was blue. See, he moved her hand, and her hand wasn't moving. Pudilova's legs are gone. She had to stretch her out, put all more weight on her, and then he's tapping her back. She was already out. Wow, that was crazy. Wow, man. Yeah, she turned into a grappling that one. She just says Suarez will modify her approach to protect that neck. Colostrum said, who y'all talking about? He says everybody tearing out a fighter, but who's your favorite? He said she was on course to just stupid mistake. It might work on Lipsky. What y'all talking about? Who's favorite fighter? James Perez said, what are you talking about? Antonina Shevchenko and Pudilova. Who are you talking about? Close. You talking about? You talking to you, James? He said, just like to point out everything that's wrong in a fighter. Oh, I know you're talking to me. You two, you just said Andrade is still in the flyweight rankings too. I'm curious if anyone would try and fight her for that spot, or she keep moving down as fights keep going. She's number 3 right now. Yeah, I was talking about that. Did I do a show on that Tuesday? No, Thursday. I talked about that Thursday. I think if Manone can't fight Jakagan, Andrade and Manone would be interesting. That would be a good fight. Manone and Andrade would be a good fight. Colostrum said, I want to hear who your favorite fighter is. Whose favorite fighter? Whose favorite fighter? Efren said Suarez posted a picture of her fight with Carla on IG. I wouldn't be surprised if she stays at 115. I like to see her fight at 125. That would be a good first fight to come back to. Oh, TJ, my bad. You mean? Oh, okay. You talking about TJ? TG? Who's TG? Oh, you mean TJ? Oh, he talking to you, TJ. Okay. Yeah, I was just playing something in the background. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, James Perez. I was talking about that fight because we were talking about Pudilova. Pudilova is about to probably be back at 125, and I think that'd probably be the best weight for her. But yeah, Antonina, she choked her out, man. Dang, that was a vicious strangulation right there. The thing about it too is that the referee he let it play out long. Excuse me. He just as far as to stay at 115. I don't know about a first fight back though. It's tough to say on her first fight back. That'd be trouble making that weight. Straight, yeah, I did. I got that picture up. I might talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, she's cut that weight. She's on her way down. She definitely looks like 115. She's slowly making that weight. So I think that's why she wanted that extra time because y'all remember the fight was supposed to be in May, but they pushed it back to July. I guess they said we got to be realistic. She got to cut. She's got to cut this weight down to get. She got to cut this weight down in a smart way to be competitive at 125. So we got to cut it down, push it out 2 months, and then we'll have a fight, right? So Lauren Murphy, Misha Tate in July makes more sense because I think if she would have did May, she probably would have rushed and cut the weight. But she's on her way down now in the right way. Todd Johnson, I feel Torres is very underrated. If you fight her, you have a problem. Yeah, I think she is too, Todd. I think she's very. To me, she would have got the belt at 115. No lie. If she wouldn't have had any issues, I think Suarez would have been holding that belt because I think she would have ran through Rose. I think her toughest fight probably would have been Joanna. Andrade would have been scary, but I think she would have overcame Andrade. But I think her style at that time to me in 2019, 2018, she had the right type of style. to get her that belt. Andrade would have been hell though trying to take down. Excuse me, not Andrade. Joanna would have been hell for her to take down though. That would have been a tough fight. Getting past her jab too. Lafayette, what's going on? He said Misha might make a little noise. Yeah, it might make a little noise up in there. So I said when I looked at her body, I saw how she was, she was working the process right. I mean, this is a good thing. I mean, I'm not sure about her getting the title shot before some of these other girls, but I think, physically she's taking it seriously. James already said that Tatiana's better at wrestling. Oh, Carlos says Suarez is a beast and will be a problem for anybody in the division. Love or hate her, you can't deny how good she is. No, she's a good fighter. I can't wait till she picks it back up though. Robot Chicken said Lucy Pudilova versus Meatball. There you go. Lucy versus Meatball. That's an exciting fight. Go ahead and do that fight in Ireland. That's gonna bring a lot of fans out. Meatball might get amped up and win that one though. That's what I'm saying. Like Lucy, I'm glad she, feel the need to get back, but skill wise, I think it's gonna be tough to compete with some of these UFC level fighters. Efren said, as a huge Joanna stan, I want her to stay away from Tatiana. I'm telling people, man, like, people thought I was crazy when I was talking about Tatiana in the highway, but I'm like, I take the time to analyze the fighters. But when I saw Tatiana come through, I said, if anything, Joanna will probably be the toughest, but I still saw her getting the belt. And I remember, I think it was on an Instagram post, Tatiana called Joanna out and she didn't want that fight. It was a while back. I mentioned that on the IG, because I think Tatiana brought that up because somebody asked if anybody ever ducked her. And she said Joanna was one of the fighters that turned down a fight with her. So I was like, uh-oh. It was like I want to say it was back in 2018 or 2019. Yeah, she said Joanna turned down a fight. I was like, oh, wow. Why? I think that was after she had lost the belt. But I think she fought Tisha or Michelle Waterson instead or somebody like that. But Tatiana called her out. Tatiana said she wanted her or she wanted Andrade. I don't. Well, I know Andrade was getting a title shot at the time, so that's why she didn't get that fight. And Tatiana winds up fighting Nina Ansaroff. But Michelle Waterson was the fight main event for Joanna. She fought Tisha Torres, but never got on that path to fight Suarez. I can see why. Tatiana's Top Control versus Dern's BJJ. I think, style wise, I think Suarez versus Andrade Suarez would have an easier time with Andrade than she would with Dern on the ground. Call me crazy, but I think so, man, because I think Dern on her back. Dern is just that type of submission artist, man. Like some things just happen, and I think Andrade would be an easier task for Suarez than Dern. Dern on the ground is dangerous now. Dern on her back, Dern in any position on her, she's already calculating what position and what mistake you're going to make. Suarez probably could pull out some interesting things because of the physical strength and her wrestling. Like maybe she might be an overpowered Tisha Torres. You know how Tisha Torres was able to survive Dern, so maybe not. Maybe if she can do what Tisha does because she's so much stronger, she could overcome that. But I still think Dern would be dangerous on the ground. YouTube UFC said UFC is making sure Molly wins her next fight. She would be fighting a higher ranked opponent, but they can't have a chance of her losing in the UK. No, they can't. Got to be legit story fights for her. Entertaining fights for her. Can't barely be ranked. That's why I said there's a lane for Molly McCann. Molly McCann can get paid even without having a belt. Molly McCann can get paid without having a belt because she's got a fan base. I tell people that she's got a fan base, and you don't have to be a champ. You just got to know how to work your people and have a good, exciting style, and at least get wins. So Molly McCann's always going to be making some money. She ain't going to be getting cut from the UFC anytime soon. People think, oh, she ain't ranked. She ain't nothing. No, she's ranked. She's something. I mean, she ain't ranked, but she's something. She's still bringing in people. She know how to keep her name out there. You ain't got to be ranked. I mean, you got to be ranked to get a belt, of course, but you ain't got to be ranked to make money. Yeah, I saw that Robot Chick. I see they're giving Patty Monkey King out here. With Monkey King's defense, they hoping that he can score a knockout. But believe me, if Monkey King, if he can get this thing to the ground, you might see him hand Patty a loss. But they're looking for him to land something on somebody with open defense. Let me see YouTube user. Oh, he said Dern said in an interview she should have broken Tisha's arm, but was afraid to and figured she would tap. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Like that's what I'm telling y'all about what she's capable of on the ground. That could happen, like I think moving forward, she will put that type of strength. Mackenzie Dern getting strong. And like I said, her positioning is next level. So I think Suarez would be like a tough fight for Suarez would be, I think it would be a tough fight for him. Dern would be a tough fight for Suarez. YouTube user said, do you think Dern will ever be champion? Do I think she'll be champion? It's possible. It's definitely not out of the picture, man, because the way styles match up in this game, it all depends on who got the belt at the right time to me. So I think she could get it. If she keeps working like over the next course of 2 years, and the way the division just passes it around right now, the way styles match up, yeah, I don't see any problem with Dern maybe touching that belt at least one time. Now, keeping it, I don't know, but no. Yeah, Monkey King is gonna be tough, I think. I can't stand. Yeah, I don't want to see another banana split from him or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but I don't want to see that, man. So, but believe me, if he wins, that's what's going to happen. But is that a reason to go for Patty then? Should I go for Patty so I don't have to see him do a split? Yeah, he is tough. Yeah, he is tough. Like I think they're hoping for somebody with lack of defense that can be hit, but on the ground, Levitt is going to be trouble. Ephraim said there will always be a path for Dern to be champ with a little bit of luck. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like I said, especially when the belt just goes back and forth the way it does right now. And it just really started, again, where when Rose, Andrade, Weili, Rose. So yeah, it's been jumping. Tatiana got beat up in that third round against Anzarov. People forget that she was gassing bad when it lost. I think it had something to do with her injury at the time too. She said that in an interview. Like I don't think it was like this bad beating, but it was a point where she was dealing with the injury in that fight because there was something about her neck. It was either her neck or the hand in that fight. She described it. So sometimes, yeah, like some injuries might slow her down, which is a downfall. But it wasn't like something Nina, I think, was really like doing. Yeah, Marcus said he going for Patty because he didn't want to see that twerking. Oh man, I'm like, yeah, woo. I'm like, I don't know, I want to see that. I mean, I hate to do that just because of the dance, the post fight dance, but and I'm not really a Patty fan, but I don't have nobody. I'm not invested in anybody in that fight. So yeah, if we can avoid the twerk, we might have to go for Patty. Yeah, Robot Chicken said do the running man or something. Yeah, do something, man. Oh boy, Stamina in the building. He's in Barcelona. What's going on? How Barcelona treating you? One Doug 62. What's up? He said Tatiana's too banged up with long term injuries. She'll never put together a 3 or 4 fight win streak. Dang. She does have a lot of injuries, man. But hey, I'm hoping for the best. 3 or 4 fight win streak at 125 would be tough for her too with that style, But I think she can do it, man. I think she can. I think she can, man. TJ said Bell's gonna stay with Carlos Sparza, huh? All right. Okay, y'all. Well, it's been fun. I'm about to wrap it up. Yes, sir. Time to wrap this thing up. Um, close this thing out. Yeah, BJ was out there driving. He couldn't give his take. You good, right, BJ? Because I'm about to get up out of here. I know I threw you a link, but you said your phone was acting up. So if you, yeah, he said, yeah, her neck stumped her left hand. Yeah, yeah. You gave your take on Pudilova. You good? All right. I'm gonna close this thing up here, but it's been fun, y'all. Like always. Didn't even have no fights this weekend, but we still had a good conversation, right? That's crazy. No, I'm just no, that's just because we some hardcore fans over here. I mean, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it interesting, even if we ain't got no fights. We still try to keep it interesting. I mean, I'm ready to do this trivia thing that BJ be doing again, man. That's what keeps the um, game interesting, man. Like keeps it fun. When he does this trivia again, I'm gonna win. I came in second, but like I said, that was off multitasking and no Google at my disposal. But I was killing it. When BJ did that trivia for WMMA history. Come on. Let's see. Marcus said looks like Weili is blasting Rose for working with Joanna. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Marcus trying to hold me up. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I'm gonna just take a look, but I ain't gonna talk about it right now. I'm gonna just take a look. Unless it's something really juicy, I'll save it for tomorrow. Long blast Weili. Yeah, I'll save it for tomorrow because I just want to read through it. I mean, I really don't get that myself. Like champ helping this champ versus that champ, that whole thing, man. Like, get your own camp, figure your own thing out. That's how I am. I'm like, you don't see Sean Porter working with Terrence Crawford to beat Errol Spence and things like that. Like, sometimes you see it in boxing when the guys are separated from years, but I don't know. Ryan said, I think I'll have something to say about that. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Hey, make sure. Look, BJ gonna get a day when I'm off and everyone's off, and they can be right next to their computer if they want to Google, right? If they want to take the easy route. But I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready, Brian. So Brian, you better park your car wherever you at. I don't want to be responsible for no accidents. Well, I'm not. BJ's the host, so you be ready because I'm competitive, boy. I was sweating. Man. Don't even get me started. Darby Crash said, "Where can I donate?" donate to me. If you have a Cash App, my Cash App is on the screen. If you like to donate, appreciate that. If you can see it, it's kind of I'm sorry, it's in small print. It's the $ combo breaker 99, Darby, if you have one. I'm gonna save this. Weili blast interfering Rose Nami units. Well, if I'm Rose, I would not do something like this. I mean, I agree. I mean, because it just don't make any sense. It just don't make any sense. It's like a Mean Girls type of club or something. Brian Williams said, "Okay, be ready." He said, "I'll make it a point." Combo me too. My hands were shaking. I couldn't hardly get my answers. Man, I was pacing. Like after that one, Brian. After that one answer, Brian. Whenever I thought MJ's came in before mine, and on my screen, on my screen it came in first, but on MJ's came in first. Man, I was pacing. I was pacing. I was like, man, I gotta win this. What am I doing here? Yeah, with Darby. But yeah, that's if you ever like to donate, I'd appreciate that. I mean, whatever. It's Cash App, Combo Breaker 99 right there. Maybe I'll do a giveaway one day, not a trivia thing like what BJ's doing, but maybe I'll give away uh a shirt or something like that. I have a shirt that says Combo Breaker 99. Actually, I use it. But if somebody wants one, they can donate. I'll have you one made. Cause look at TJ. He said we working on the merchandise. Hey, yeah, we can do that. If I hit 1,000, we'll do that. We're getting there, getting closer. And when we get there, maybe I'll start being on camera more. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll start being on camera more. Like not every time, but when I get there, I'll step it up and I'll start popping up on camera. When I get to 1,000, I'll do that. But like always, yeah, make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. New listeners that haven't, hit the like on your way out. And I'll be on here tomorrow. Catch y'all on here tomorrow. So shut this thing down. And like always, Combo Breaker 99. Uh-oh. There we go. We're just about to shut it off, but something happened. Uh Robot Chicken said, "Make some rest in peace, man." Yeah, where he at, man? He was tagging. He used to tag I used to let it stay too. I let the comments stay. He used to tag his name. He used to tag it everywhere. He used to tag it everywhere, talking about Rose was gonna win. As soon as Carlo won, I ain't even see him. YouTube used a live stream for a UFC event. He's a live stream from a UFC event. If they come around here again, where I'm at, I would. If they come to my state again, they ain't been to my state like 2 years. I probably will. I ain't interviewed nobody in a while because I ain't really felt like it, but maybe I'll do an interview again. Sometimes y'all want to hear me more than y'all hear the fighter. But sorry, I was charging something. Okay, y'all. I'm gone this time, y'all. Later. Peace.